I'm live a little bit early. We're kind of tight on time for this episode, so I wanted to start just a little bit early. Good morning. Welcome to the stream. Good morning, Grace. This is the YouTube portion of the Good Morning Grace. The full Grace available on Kick. I'm just kidding. Welcome to the stream. This is just like I'll talk about it later. Let's get an update. Grace streamed yesterday quite a bit at A-logged Fat Camp, which is borderline unwatchable. Hurricane Paro tried to come in and co-host, but was denied, at least up until when I saw. Grace is trying to kind of get back with Becky and Lynx, I guess, to A-log the rest of Fat Camp all together. I don't know if that's going to work or not. VP's been live a lot, but she's changed the way her whole deal works. Like, you can't rewind anymore, at least on the last couple streams that I saw. And then they're pretty much down like immediately. So I've got to kind of figure out how to navigate around that. But what else? Ruby. Then you've got, what did Ruby do yesterday? I've got to look it up. I don't think I got any notifications for Ruby yesterday, did I? I probably say that and then I was probably like in her chat. Let's see what Ruby did so I can make sure. God damn it. Let's see. 16 hours ago, she had a live. So there you go. Get ready with me, bookstore methadone chic plus try-on haul. Oh, is it kind of a short? Oh, yeah, I remember now. Yeah, it was like only like 40 minutes long. Yeah. The real situation though is with the Jedi. They haven't been live or posted a video in forever, and they posted. I'm assuming it was Rich posted a video like like an upcoming premiere, and it was that he had told Jedi Joy to respect Gloria more, and then this is what, and it said, and this is what happened, and there was like a picture of Joy having like really pissed off in the thumbnail, but then the video got taken down and nothing came of it that I'm aware of. So that's all very exciting. Wonder what's going on with the Jedi. Speaking of which, if you're a member, thanks to the donated memberships yesterday, we have a new emote, which is one of my favorite Jedi Rich poses. Anything else? Tony Yeoman had a video. I got a he did a he did a review of a limeade like lager. Savvy guy, of course, several things. I don't remember though. Savvy guy titles, unless it's something really out there, is hard to remember. But anyway, today is basically just like the I'm tight on time, and I wanted to make sure I got all of the update stuff in. So I wanted to do like my little like pre-show thing before the actual stream started. And I didn't have anything to do because I was playing Diablo, and I filled my whispers, so I didn't feel like fucking around again. So I was just like, I'll just jump on here. Do you see Tattoo at Hervé Villachez? Absolutely. I do want to warn you, I haven't watched the big pieces of this, like the big foundational pieces, but some of the stuff is in rough shape, but hopefully you guys are used to it. What's up, Anon J? Ember in the chat. Good morning. Hey, EFD. And Built to Spill. Nice. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Hervé Villachez. Massive fan of Hervé Villachez. To me, I think he's great. I loved him in that movie, The Forbidden Zone. Oh my God, amazing Hervé Villachez. So that's I guess I started early thinking I had like 10 minutes of stuff to say, and I really only had 4 minutes of stuff to say. You loved Fantasy Island, and most importantly, oh my God, don't even get me started on The Forbidden Zone, dude. I did a bunch of interviews with Richard Elfman, the guy who made that movie back in the day, and then I think he made other movies. There was like Shrunken Heads and Modern Vampires, which if you haven't seen Modern Vampires is a very strange movie, but it's really funny. All right, let's see. I'm sorry. I thought I had a bunch of stuff to say. I thought it would take me a long time. I think the reason for VP's issues with not wanting VODs and not wanting rewind is because She's in like a big war with one of her A-loggers that used to be like a trusted, I don't know about trusted, but like almost like a business partner kind of. They had like an arrangement about the clipping. The plane. I love Fantasy Island. I think it's such a funny show. I tried to watch. They made a movie. I think Blumhouse made a movie, and I don't remember. I don't remember anything about it, but I don't think I liked it. I should probably watch it again though. I got like 10. Oh my god, I have 10 minutes left. My god. Oh, okay. All right. Well, I know we're 10 minutes early, but this is it. I mean, like, it's going to be a real down to the wire on the stream, and I want to make sure we get as much of it as possible. So again, these are all items. These are all things that came up in my algorithm. These were all algorithmically suggested, and they're all like retro VHS, old school. I don't want to say brain rot, but that's what some people like, or I don't, not brain rot, but like they have like a weird name, vaporware or whatever. I don't know. But anyway, let's go ahead and get started. And again, I tried to put these into like kind of a deal where it was like you were watching, like, I love blocks of TV where there's like big shows, but then they're like surrounded by commercials and like little extra featurettes, and then they have like your main show at the end. So that's what I tried to do with this. So hopefully it's somewhat coherent. It's crazy how many people have no idea about how great the plane is. I feel like hardly anybody talks about Hervé Villechaize anymore. He got a movie a few years, well, actually, it's probably a long time ago, with Peter Dinklage as him, and it was great. I showed it. I did a public screening of it, but I can't show it on here, unfortunately. But I think the name of it was My Dinner with Hervé, and it was about a guy who interviewed Hervé Villechaize back in the day and had like a crazy night with him. Like he would have been a great streamer. You're rewatching Game of Thrones. I got to the point to where one of the like character that he started doing like these miraculous resurrections, and then I was kind of like, okay, whatever. Anyway, listen, I know it's early. Hopefully people won't mind missing a few of the introduction pieces, but I really it's going to be like literally like it's going to be super close. So let's just go ahead and get started. This is, I don't remember what I called it, but here it is.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Hi.
Hi.
Hey, Jane.
Hi.
How are you?
Hi. Hi.
Hi.
Hi, I'm Kathy Smith.
Hi. I'm Kathy Smith.
Hi.
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 Are you ready to do the workout? Are you ready to do the workout?
Hello again.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Yes, and welcome to the workout.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Woo! Are you ready? This is it. Hi.
Hi.
Welcome to the workout.
Now this is in really bad shape. I'm sorry.
Evander Holyfield, would you pop a buddy in the mouth for 59 cents?
You bet I would. If it's a breakfast buddy from Burger King.
Introducing the new Breakfast Buddy sandwich. Egg, sausage, and cheese,
Jazzercise.
all on a Buddy's bun for just 59 cents.
I'm a huge mark for 80s aerobic chicks.
At that price, who wouldn't pop a buddy? Or two, or three.
So pop a buddy in the mouth. The new Breakfast
Pop a buddy in the mouth.
A great new breakfast at a price that's a real knockout. Only at Burger King.
59 cents. Even I can't beat that.
This mission has been canceled.
But our mission has just begun. This is the HBO Weekend Movie Guide with your box.
I actually checked out every movie in the weekend guide from the library. I just watched Universal Soldier a couple days ago.
Of his choices this week.
What the hell did they do to you?
Don't know.
Jane Fonda workout, that thing was omnipresent.
I'm going to find out.
Jean-Claude Van Damme and Dolph Lundgren are part of a top-secret experiment that pits one against the other in the action-packed thriller Universal Soldier.
I'm giving the orders from now on.
If you're looking for action, this movie has plenty. There's lots of gunplay, loud explosions, and a very high body count.
It's good to go to the movie just to escape and maybe to see some stuff.
Very high body count.
I just want to eat.
We try to blend, violence and comedy, and and also make it more entertaining.
Universal Soldier is rated R. If you think he's having a bad day, what about Jack Deeds? He's an animator who's
Leotard over thick colored tights and mini leg warmers? Yeah, absolutely.
mysteriously sucked into his own creation, a place called Cool World.
Well, technically, I checked out Cool World previous or I put in the request for it because King TL brought it up in chat, so he gets credit for me revisiting Cool World.
To my world.
Gabriel Byrne, Kim Basinger, and Brad Pitt are the featured players in this surreal look at one woman's intense desire to be something she's not.
I just want to be real.
Parents beware. This film has been rated PG-13, and according to Basinger,
Parents beware.
Very wild, a roller coaster ride for the imagination.
Noids do not have sex with doodles. It's the oldest law in Cool World.
There's more fantasy to be found at the box office this week in the Alec Baldwin, Meg Ryan film Prelude to a Kiss.
You're the miracle.
No, you are.
This is a big screen fable about a whirlwind courtship of a couple whose lives are forever changed when they meet a stranger.
I only wanted to wish the two young people well, and perhaps to kiss the bride before I'm on my way.
Matt Lauer, I have no idea. I'll have to
Blessings to you.
Hey, Joe. Hey, Get
I
Cracked.
just don't think there's anything like it out there or has been out there for a long time.
Prelude to a Kiss.
You were a competitive dancer in the 80s and 90s. Oh, boy. Are you a Russian operative sent in here that's read my dossier? This shit is so dated. This entire stream is unbelievably dated. Just wait.
This is rated PG-13. If you're planning to stay indoors this weekend, you can catch the premiere of the HBO original movie.
No, I haven't seen this in a long time. I'm actually halfway looking. I don't like baseball at all, but I like baseball movies. Well, I shouldn't say I don't like it at all, but I don't like it enough to watch it or follow it, but I love baseball movies.
Comrades of Summer.
Maybe you can reason with him. I think he speaks a little
Joe
Russian.
Montana.
Joe Montana brings the great American pastime to the Russians when he signs on as the manager of their Olympic baseball team.
What?
What are you, deaf? I said you're out of here!
And so are we.
Get outta
This
here.
has been the HBO Weekend Movie Guide.
What are you looking at?
Oh, don't mind him. He's still steamed over crab delight.
Louis Kemp. I'll fillet him.
See, Kurt always thought he was king of crustaceans, but no one wants to bother with him when there's crab delights.
But I was King Crab.
I know. Crab delights are real seafood with the great taste of crab.
Yeah, see, I wish I could do I wish I was in a position where I could do like 8-hour streams and just do like 8-hour blocks of programming. Like I would be in heaven.
But none of the work. And unlike her,
Fitting this stuff into like a 2-hour window, leaving like an hour for us to talk or whatever is like, it's tough.
they're fat-free.
Some really tough choices.
No soft shell here, Claudia. Try crab delight.
You like baseball in person? I feel like baseball in person is kind of like listening to a long stream. You can like engage in other activities for a while or socialize with other people and kind of ignore what's going on for a while.
Ice tonight from Louis Kemp Seafood. I really was King Crab.
What's up, Jeremy? Now, I haven't seen this. I just saw I saw the name and thought it would be worth a shot.
No, get back. Quiet, Lois. It's third down, 5 yard to go.
What's the matter?
Oh, it looks like a...
Tackling football, a women's guide. Tackling football, a women's guide to watching the game. Just to watching it.
Pass play. Oh, no, quarterback's going back deep. Wide receivers going down. No. Looks like a blitz. Oh! You got sacked. It's 4th down. They got a punt. They got a punt.
This is my friend Tom Dreesen. You probably know him
Wow,
as a comedian.
doxed, full name.
Well, he's a sports fan first and a comedian second. And you know what? He lives and breathes and eats football. And I just don't understand it. And you know what else I don't understand? Tom and I went to school together, and I always had better grades. You know, my hand was always up before his. But I just don't get football.
Oh, no, 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 stupid.
Okay, Tom.
That's it. They blew enough.
All right, that is it. I have had it. I'm sick of feeling left out. You have got to teach me how to understand the
What an interesting relationship. They're just friends. They hang out and do things that only one of them likes.
game of football.
Lois, you want to understand football?
Yes, I do.
Okay. This afternoon, I'm supposed to meet my good buddy, and afterward, we're going to go out and have a little bite to eat.
Yeah?
But I'm going to call him. His
Yeah.
name is Tim Reitman. He was an All-American in college. He played
Tim Reitman, doxed.
on the Super Bowl championship team. I'm just going to ask him, would he mind spending a little bit of time with you and teach you the basics of the game?
Uh-huh. Tim.
So she's telling him, hey, listen, this thing that you're really passionate about, I want to get to know more about it so we can connect. And he's like, hey, listen, I got a buddy that'd be perfect for that.
Reitman.
Tim Reitman.
Super Bowl.
Tim Reitman.
That's right.
Tim Reitman.
Tim Reitman.
Let's go.
Anybody home?
Are you sure we should be doing this?
I told him we were coming. Tim? Tim Reitman.
Tommy, is that you?
Hey, Tim.
Tom.
What in the
Good to
world?
see you too, Tim. This is a good friend of mine.
Lois
What?
Hall.
Hi, Lois.
Hi,
Nice
how
to
are
meet
you? Thanks. Tom says you're a wonderful...
The Grace helmet was, there were so many great shots I could have used for the thumbnail, but it was in a video with OPC Don, so I had to put him on the front of it, or on the thumbnail, but man, that helmet was hilarious.
football player.
Thanks. Maybe you should come out sometime.
I'd love to.
Great.
Lois, don't you think you should learn a little bit about the game before we go out to watch him play?
Yeah, right.
I tell you what, let me change. I'll be right back.
Okay.
What was the
Tim
point
and I-
of that?
Work out together.
Wow.
Lois, you know the best place to start learning about football is from the beginning.
You mean the kickoff?
Well, let's start with the players and the jobs that they do first.
Okay, now this is what I know about sports. There are 5 people on a basketball team, and there are 9 people on a baseball team,
Correct.
and there are 11 players on a football team.
3 out of 3, Lo.
Okay, now the team that's got the ball and is trying to make the touchdown, that's called the offense. The team that doesn't have the ball and is trying to keep the other team from making a touchdown is called the defense. After that, it's just a big jumble of bodies, and I don't really get it.
You know, I think I know what you mean. It's something like this.
Yeah.
Is this the episode where 2 unknown and boring nerds drive an RV to the grocery store? No, that portion of the week is over. At least until, well, yeah. I think Saturday might be, I have so many new people that I want to like run past you guys. I think we need to do a Boyd talent show again. But today's the VHS Brain Rot Day, tomorrow's George Dorunda, and Friday's, of course, Memphis Wrestling.
Okay, you see what I mean? These guys are going up here, and these guys are going up here, and nothing really happens. I don't really understand it, Tim.
You didn't like the Mold Goblin? Well, I had it originally as the Scat Goblin, and then I thought, well, that's kind of, let's give OPC the benefit of the doubt, the Mold Goblin.
Yeah, you got a great...
He likes it. He likes being he likes being a-logged or like, you know, having clips made about him.
point. You know what?
That's what he's paying for. He's paying to feel like he's a, you know, part of the stream team.
I think I can teach you the game of football is as simple as a game of checkers.
Yeah?
Yeah, sit down over here. Tom, grab that board, will you?
Sure.
Did you guys remember that random moment where OPC just started giving Grace money, and even she was like, I don't know why OPC's paying me.
Now, tell the truth. Wouldn't you really rather have a pizza?
Lois, this is our gridiron.
Gridiron?
Or football field. For some reason, they call a football field a gridiron. I really don't know why.
Okay.
I think the best place to start with this is the line of scrimmage. Now,
Line of scrimmage.
right. The line of scrimmage is just wherever the ball is.
You'll hear that term a lot on Sunday television or Monday Night Football, the line of scrimmage.
Like if OPC wasn't if OPC wasn't cool with it, he wouldn't like try to run psyops on me in Ruby's chat and shit. What's up, Laughing Cedar? Will I be clipping the OPC flat tire? Of course. It's just I try to keep like the clips kind of like I try to rotate, but like the Grace clips tend to like there tends to be like 5 times more of them than everything else. So yeah, but I put 2 of them up yesterday, so I probably do like 1 Grace, 1. I think I've got a good Ruby clip for today.
Like Tim said, it just means where the ball is. If the ball's here, that's a line of scrimmage. If the ball's there, that's a line of scrimmage. There's like an imaginary line, right, Tim, that goes through the ball.
That's right. It goes from where the ball is all the way to the sidelines. And what it really does, it just divides the offense and the defense. And the line of scrimmage is where all the action takes place.
Okay.
So let's start with...
Like when he told me that I really needed to get the police report about him because Grace was freezing in the RV and she needed it to get back into the apartment.
With the offense, and the person that humps over the ball or is over the ball, and what he does is he snaps the ball to the player behind him.
Well, yeah, this is how the play starts. You'll hear the announcer say he snapped.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like I know there are people that there are a lot of people that aren't watching the kick, and then it's like there's, I don't know. I'll get into a rhythm again.
The ball. All he really means is the center passed the ball between his legs to the man behind him.
Okay.
They might also say hikes or centers the ball because the man is a center. So you say he centers.
Does kick? I don't know. I forgot to look for it, but does kick have a thing like YouTube has where you can actually like hit a clip button inside the video that will like timestamp like a certain number, like 10 seconds or whatever?
Centers the ball, he snaps the ball, he hikes the ball.
That would make it easier.
But it just means starting the play.
I got it.
And that just means that he's snapping the ball or hiking the ball.
Okay, the 2 players on each side of the center are called the guards. The right guard and the left guard.
So the right guard...
You can't, I'm not sure what you're saying. You're having trouble joining this on iOS, but you can with some people that have an about page? What's an about page?
Guard lines up on the right side and the left guard lines up on the left side.
That's correct.
Okay. Outside of the guards are the tackle.
Hey, Crack, I got to ask you a question. If you're still in here, I got a question for you, too. Let me find it, though.
And they're also referred to as a right tackle and a left tackle. Now, these are the linemen. Their most important job is to block for their teammates.
What does this mean? It says, okay, this is from YouTube. It's on my app. It says, starting May 12, 2025, to improve earnings potential, we'll be adding automatic ad slots on top of manual ones on your existing videos. You can choose to continue managing your ad slots manually. So I clicked on it, and it basically says that if you do mid-roll, it just says mid-roll ads, manual mid-roll ads, like ones that you place yourself. Well, like, I guess they're going to start adding automatic ones onto that. But none of my videos should have mid-roll ads. So does that affect me at all? Or are they saying they're going to, like, force that shit in there? I don't really understand.
Yes.
Okay? Now, that's their principal job. And then there's my favorite position, Lois.
Tight end.
That's right. The tight end can line up here on the right side or the left side. He can move around. Now, the reason he's called a tight end is because of the fact that he's in close to the center. He's tight into the center.
Yeah, I don't think kick is nearly the free speech area that people think it is. It's certainly not good, like copyright-wise. I think it's probably worse than YouTube.
Okay?
From some of the stuff I've read from people on Reddit that have tried to do like React channels over there, like watch-alongs.
Now, outside of the tight end, we have what we can call the wide ends.
Yeah, there's a few Grace videos that have a song in the middle of them, and somebody claimed it and like monetized it and put like the ads in the middle, but there should be no pre-roll ads on anything.
Wide receivers.
And sometimes you hear the announcer on television say flanker.
And there's no ads on like these streams aren't, while I'm live, the streams aren't monetized, so there shouldn't be any issues there. Hopefully I can just ignore it then. I thought they were saying they were going to like force them in there. That's like the worst. I fucking hate mid-roll ads.
Or split ends. But what he's really referring to are our wide receivers.
Now let's get to the backfield. We know that the wide receivers are split ends.
That's what I was thinking when we were talking yesterday about how I never saw an ad on Thorpe TV. Like I talked to some people last night that I've watched with them, and like they were saying that like they all either had premium or then most of them had ad block. So I guess my knowledge about what ads were on Thorpe TV was unreliable.
Catch the ball along with the tight end. You know, they're throwing passes, but we need someone to throw them the passes. Then there's the glamour position.
Quarterback.
You were quick on that one.
Well, he's usually the best looking.
Thanks a lot, Lois. Okay, now...
It just seems like mid-roll ads, especially like I don't know if you've ever seen what happens like if somebody forcibly monetizes a video and puts in mid-roll ads, but it's like a disaster. Like there's no care for the people that are watching the video at all. And I just think it's like the least bang for your buck. You know what I mean? Like it's just a huge hassle that doesn't at least at most size channels doesn't really yield that much of a reward.
His main job, of course, is one of three things. He'll either pass the ball, he'll run the ball, or give the ball to one of his running backs to run with the ball. Now, these guys are called sometimes halfbacks or fullbacks. Okay? Now, they do most of the running with the ball. Let's see, you want to go over this one more time? Okay. Let's start from the beginning again. Where the ball is called
the line of scrimmage.
Great. Okay. Now, the player that lines up over the ball
is the center.
That's right, because he's in the center of the field. And his main job is to give the ball to...
I'd be curious to go to watch Vegan like out without having without having ad block or premium, because I think a lot of her content is like ad farming, like where she's just like she's either asleep or just hanging out. So I'd be curious to see what like her frequency of ads is.
For the quarterback, snap it to him, hand it to him.
Okay.
Now, on each side of the center are the guards.
Yeah.
Okay, now we have a right guard and a left guard. So outside of the guards, we have to have...
tackles.
That's right, a right tackle.
Yeah, mine's updated a couple times during the stream, before and popped up.
On a left tackle.
Okay.
All right, now...
Your position.
That's right, the best position on the field.
Tight end.
That's right, the tight end. And he catches the ball, but he's also responsible for doing a lot of blocking, too, because he's in tight. Okay?
He's in tight.
Outside of the tight end, we have the wide ends are the...
wide receivers.
That's right, okay. Sometimes they're called flankers or split ends, too.
All right.
Okay, the glamour boy, once again...
quarterback.
Throws the ball, runs the ball, hands the ball off to his running backs.
Okay.
Okay?
Who are sometimes called halfback and fullback or whatever. But
Okay.
they're still running back.
And they can move around. They can line up in a lot of different positions. So a lot of times, the only way that we can keep an eye on who the running backs are by their numbers. And there you have the offense.
Okay, so far so good. But you know, Tim, whenever I watch TV and the offense has the ball, they always say first down in 10, and second down in 5, and third down in I don't know what it means.
Don't worry about it. It really confused me when I first started playing too. But let me see if I can make it real simple for you. All right?
Okay.
The main object of the game of football, of course, is to score a touchdown.
He got confused over the fact that you get like this many opportunities to go this far. I don't understand what's confusing about it. To him, I mean, as a player. If you're not a fan or whatever, maybe, but as a player, I can't imagine being confused by it.
But in between that, we have intermediate goals, all right? The magic number is 10, okay?
All right.
Just remember the 10, all right? So what happens is we get downs. Let me explain what downs are. Downs, just think of them as tries or attempts, okay? So they're going to let you have 4 downs to get 10 yards, all right?
Okay.
Now, we start anywhere where the offense takes over the ball. It can be anywhere on the field, but let's just start from the 30-yard line.
Okay.
Okay? So we have to go to the 20, Tom, right? 10 yards. We have to go to the 20.
First and 10.
To get another first down.
Okay.
So say the first play we run.
Oh, hey, get cracked. Did you see the new emoji?
Goes that many yards.
Right.
Right? So now it's second down and 6.
Right.
Okay?
Because you have 6 yards to go.
To make it to the 20.
Okay.
Okay. Now the next play runs it to right there. So now it's third down and how many?
2.
For first. Right. Okay, so it's third down and 2.
2 yards to go.
That's right.
Okay.
Okay, you're getting it, I tell you.
I would run it if it was me.
All right, now the next play we run, it's a pass. Makes a fantastic
This is like someone explaining anything to me.
catch. He's down on the...
I can't imagine. I really don't know, like, what... Who's going to sit down and watch this besides this kind of a situation? Like, do you think any husbands... No. Do you think this is something that wives bought so that they could watch it with their husbands to spend time with them?
The 15-yard line.
Yeah.
Okay? We've gone past our 10-yard mark, so now we get a first down.
Okay.
We get 4 more tries to make it to the 5-yard line.
Uh-huh.
And then our ultimate goal is to score.
Okay. But you know what else I hear all the time is first and goal. Now, what does that mean?
Well, I tell you, that's good. If you hear first and goal, that's a good job because that team is already way down here and they're ready to score on their opponent. Okay. So that means anytime you hear first and goal...
They're inside the 10, right, Tim?
That's right. That means that they can't go any further or get any more first downs. What they're going to do now is score.
All right.
So if you hear...
That's true, Mr. Stinky Brew. I forgot about, like, I'm an American, so I just assume everybody likes the same stuff, or it has the same experiences as me, but, like, cultural, yeah, if you're not used to football or you hate football, I know a lot of people hate American football.
If the ball's right there and you hear the announcer say, it's first and goal from the 5, you know the ball's on the 5-yard line and the team's about to score.
Okay.
That's right, and of course it could be 2nd and 3 or 3rd and 1.
Right.
You know, I think Tim is the best explanation.
I didn't see any Indian people, but I did see 2 Amish at Kroger last time I was there.
I've ever heard about downs. Is down.
I tried to get a video with him, but I couldn't.
Those are really just tries. So when you hear first down and 10 yards, it's really first try or first down.
Okay, but what happens if you don't get the 10 yards in the 4 tries or 4 downs?
You'll have to punt.
Punt?
Yeah, here, let me show you, Lois. See, what happened is this team only made it to their own 20-yard line, and they don't want to give the ball to their opponent there because...
I hope they had express written permission before using this clip.
It'd be much too easy for them to score. So on 4th down, what they do is punt. That means they kick the ball as high and as far as they can so that the defensive team gets the ball way down there. Okay, Lois, we've talked about the offense. Now let's talk a little bit about those guys that try to keep the offense from scoring.
The defense.
That's the defense. As we did on the offense, we talked about the guy closest to the ball, the center. Well, let's talk about the guy that lines up right on the center's nose. He's called the nose guard.
Nose guard.
Nose guard.
Okay.
That's easy enough, right?
Yeah.
The players that are lined up outside of him are called the defensive ends. They line up right in front of the offensive tackles.
Okay.
Okay, they're kind of like bookends there.
Uh-huh.
Then behind the defensive linemen and on the outside, we have linebackers.
Right.
On the inside, they're called inside linebackers, and on the outside, they're called...
Do you want me to sync up the video of Grace where just for like an hour and a half she like nods along with Ben, but I'll sync it up to this guy talking about football?
Called outside linebackers.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Now, let's move it to the outside here, and we have cornerbacks on the outside. What they do is they divide the field in half, and they have each of them have a corner.
Okay.
Okay? They guard the wide receivers from catching the ball. Now, way back here, the last line of defense is the safeties.
And they're called safeties because they're the last line of defense.
Tim, when your team is on defense, what position do you play?
If I was an NFL coach, I would bring in Kathy Ireland to be my kicker.
Well, I'm not out there. See, that's when I get to rest. Our defense is out there. I'm on the offense. And we have so many players on our team that they specialize.
Ah. Well, you think maybe I should try to set this up?
Sure, give it a try.
Okay.
I'd be surprised how many American football fans in the UK just because of Madden. I mean, I know Madden is like a gigantic like phenomenon pretty much anywhere people play video games, but I always thought it was so weird. Like I've never actually known anybody who was like a hardcore Madden person, but I mean there has to be so many people out there buying like, and then there's like always the memes about how there are like people who only like the only video game they play is Madden, or they'll play like Madden and Call of Duty.
Help me out here.
Okay.
Back. Okay.
It's like playing Scrabble.
Necessary Roughness, yes. I love that movie.
All right, the first one is the nose guard.
That's right. And the nose guard, what he does is he rushes the passer, tries to make him hurry his throw, and he helps the other players tackle the guy on a run.
Okay. Then next we've got defensive ends, which are right behind.
Yeah, it's like I just forget sometimes like what an almost like cult hold it has on a group of people. Like to buy the same game every year is pretty wild.
The offensive tackles.
Okay.
That's right. And they do basically the same
Someone teaching Americans soccer or cricket? Yeah, probably. I mean, maybe.
thing that the nose guard does. They're going to rush the passer, and they're going to help on the run.
Okay.
Run defense.
All right, next
Getting high and learning how to play cricket.
is outside linebackers in there.
Oh, I did legitimately call around and try to find a polka band. Nobody I know knows one. I couldn't find one like with a quick search for like a couple hours in any direction. So maybe I'll find one eventually, but I think for right now my dream of singing with a polka band is on hold.
Up a little bit like that, right?
Right.
No,
a little
actually
bit back.
back a little.
Yeah.
Back.
Just a little bit back. But what they do is they make everything go inside.
Okay.
They try to push all the offensive plays inside so that they can't get around the outside.
Okay. Then we've got the inside linebackers, right?
That's right.
Okay.
And they help defend on the inside, but also you have to remember that they can also rush the passer sometimes.
People buy consoles. Yeah, that's another one. Yeah, FIFA with those crazy card packs. Oh my God, I'll see a video every once in a while on my algorithm, and it'll be somebody spending like 10 grand on opening FIFA packets or something.
All right.
And they drop back in pass defense.
Then we got the cornerbacks. Now they're right here, right in the corner, so they guard.
Or saying or saying they like have a super. They got some super rare card or something, and you go in there and it's like a. I don't even understand it. Like, is the game like literally pay to win, where when you buy the cards, you can get like better versions than you can through the game?
The corner.
Great position on those cornerbacks.
Yeah?
I tell you, that's perfect. And they're basically pass defense.
Okay. And then we've got safety. And then
I think it would be interesting to take a look at maybe some college women's soccer from like Sweden or another Nordic country. I think we could learn a lot from that.
that's down here.
That's right.
That's right.
Okay. All right.
Well, they're called that because they're the last line of defense.
Okay.
That's right. Great.
Uh-huh.
Now, what do you think the whole job of this defense is to do?
Cream the guy with the ball.
That's right.
Okay, time out. Now I think I need to go over this again, okay?
Okay.
Now there's three basic things that I should know about offense. There's blocking, and there's running, and there's
It's like Magic the Gathering, but it funnels back into your main, or is there like a completely separate game mode for like the cards? I have no idea how it works. I figured you got the cards and then like you could add the players, or you could like combine cards to get a better version, but it all kind of fed back into your like career mode or whatever. But is there like a completely separate game mode for the cards? That's wild.
passing. And before all of this begins, the game starts with a kickoff.
I got a great, speaking of that, I got a great kickboxing video I found.
That's right. Every game starts with a kickoff.
Hey,
in fact, we
Glocks
have
and
a
Grippers.
kickoff right here, Tom.
Well, see, the idea, Lois, of course, is to kick the ball as high as you can, and if you can, down in the corner, so that the team that kicked the ball gets a chance to get down the field and stop the team that has the ball before they get too far. In this case here, the guy got the ball in the end zone, as you see, and he's running up the field now. He's at the 10-yard line, he's at the 15-yard line, and he's getting some of that blocking you were talking about. He finally makes it to where? Here he is on about the 29-yard line before he stopped, which is a
Women's beach volleyball compilations, absolutely.
pretty fair run back.
Getting high and honoring women's sports in a respectful way. Chill
Pretty
stream.
fair run back.
Any questions about the kickoff, Lois?
Well, I'll take another one if you got it.
We sure do. Here goes.
Okay, he's got it high in the air. Now that should give the kicking team enough time to stop that run back.
Yeah.
Oh my God, do you think she would say that every time while you were watching it? Like, oh, I don't know if that's high enough for the receiving, or for the receiving team to get much of a head start on this.
Could be a great 100-yard run here, Lois. Watch this excitement.
Yeah, well, he's down on one knee. What's going on? He didn't even try to run back with a ball.
Well, what happened on that one is the kicker did such a great job of kicking the ball deep into the end zone.
Former drug addict Paul Diamond vids coming soon. I did find an account of some guy who apparently there's a bunch of, I don't know if they really are, and I don't know if Romani, he calls them gypsies, but there's a bunch of people in his town that he thinks are scamming people, so he goes around and films them. It's really strange.
The player receiving the ball said, hey, there's no...
I don't know why. Well, I think it's because I thought of Paul Diamond. I thought of living on the streets for some reason. But Paul Diamond will be back on Friday, I think, of this week for sure.
way I'm going to be able to run this ball past the 20-yard line. So he went down on one knee. That's called a touchback. And what happened...
Like, do guys who are into sports actually want their wife to be, like, part of it ordinarily?
Then the ball's brought out to the 20-yard line.
Well, what's so magic about the 20-yard line?
Well, that's just a fair place to start.
Yeah, I think for both teams.
Huh. But who makes the decision not to run back with the ball?
The receiver has to, the guy getting the ball. See, in a case like this, the last thing he wants to do is get tackled inside the 10-yard line. So he's got to make a quick decision. He thinks he can't go past 20, so he downs the ball. So they bring it out to the 20.
Okay, Lois, I've mentioned blocking, running, and passing, everything that makes up a good offense. Well, let's take that one step further with some examples, and let's take a look at that I formation that I talked to you about earlier.
Oh, okay, I got you, Mr. Stinky Brew. I think there's a kind of a similar thing in like one in that I tried that WWE mobile card game a long time ago, and I think it had a thing like that. You could draw like a really powerful card, but yeah, like you said, it was like a limited time thing. Yeah.
Earlier. Here's the I formation.
There you go.
The running
Yeah.
backs are aligned in a straight line with this running back dotting the I.
Now, I noticed that that guy is moving before the quarterback.
Maybe that's where I saw it then. I couldn't remember if it was in the mobile game or there, but I remember I played a thing where like you had to like you'd want to keep your powerful card around as long as you could.
Got the ball. Is that legal?
Yeah, that's legal. What's that's called is going in motion. A running back can do that. A wide receiver can do that. Even a tight end can go in motion. Of course, the only player that can go in motion is one that's eligible to receive a pass.
Well, what's the purpose if they don't go out there to get the ball?
See, Lois, by going into motion, they confuse the defense into thinking they're going to get the ball.
I don't do well with like limited time items or like if there's an item in the game that you only get like very few of. It just completely fucks with my brain for some reason.
And they may get the ball, but if they don't and they're just a decoy, well, then it confuses the defense and keeps them on their toes. Either way, it's real good strategy, and it forces the defense to change their strategy.
All right. 6 points for a touchdown. After the touchdown, they get a chance for an extra point?
That's true. They snap the ball, or center the ball, as we said, hold it for the kick, and if they kick the ball through the goalpost, that's called an extra point. 1 point.
Of course, there's another type of scoring that's almost exactly like this. That's called the field goal. And teams try to go for a field goal when it looks like they're not going to be able to make a first down, and they're in fairly close range, enough to kick the ball through the goalpost. Instead of punting, when they kick the ball through the goalpost, they get 3 points.
And that's a field goal.
That's right. Boy, Tom, look at that. That is the blood and guts of football.
The run up the middle.
That's right.
The middle.
I tell you what, the offensive line did a great job of blocking there. Usually we only get about 2 or 3 yards.
Well, that's a good sign. The blockers did their job.
Yeah, and I see that play a lot on television. He gained enough yards for a first down, didn't he?
Sure did.
Oh,
Yes, this next
boy.
play is going to be a sweep play, and that's when the offense
Every play when you're trying to watch the game. Oh, he didn't quite get enough yards for that, did he? 3rd and 1.
tries to outflank the defense. But it all depends on the blockers. They have to seal off the defense. The quarterback gives the ball to the
I don't think a distaste of this woman is political in nature.
running back. He tries to get to the outside, but the blockers miss their blocks. They don't seal it off very well, and the play doesn't work. No
Yeah.
yards.
Well, it seems a lot.
Fight Forever, they actually sent me a copy of it. They sent me a download code to review it on my website. I reviewed it. I thought it was like okay, but it was just like, I don't know. I mean, I liked playing it enough to go through the story mode, and then after that, I really wasn't sure. Like, I liked it enough to play it for a little bit, but definitely not like long term. No way.
Easier to me anyway to spot what the runner's doing than what the blocker's doing.
That's why the blockers make a lot less money.
And they're going to continue to make.
I mean, it was also free, so that kind of I try not. I mean, I don't let it affect like my review of the quality of something, but like I have to kind of be mindful of that in the moment. That like, how would I feel about this if I'd paid whatever amount of money?
Less money if they keep blocking like that.
Another type of offensive block is the trap play. Lois, did you see that trap block?
No.
Well, sometimes it's a little difficult because things move so fast. That's why we use different angles so we can understand a play a lot better. But what happens on a trap play, the offensive lineman moves laterally, or as we say in football, pulls, and hits a defensive lineman that doesn't know. As you can see here, he's pulling and going to hit the defense.
Southwest, you think they had permission? Oh, I definitely don't think she's retaining any of this. It's not exactly being presented in a great way, in my opinion.
Defensive lineman. That creates a hole that the running back can run through and gain some yardage.
That's a nice run. Do all teams use the trap block?
Yeah.
Do all teams use the same play?
Basically, we have the same common plays, but different versions.
Uh-oh, 4th and 2.
But the big thing is that the other team doesn't know when we're going to use them.
All right.
Got it?
Got it.
Uh-oh.
I think she's getting it.
Having a good time so far, Lois?
I'm having a great time.
Tim's a good guy, isn't he?
Yeah, he's terrific.
And you're going to have so much fun now when you see him on television scoring touchdowns because you know him.
I'm going to have even more fun because now I know that there's 6 points to a touchdown.
That's right.
Oh, boy.
And there's 1 point for the extra point after the touchdown.
Right.
And there are 3 points for a field goal.
Oh,
Very
boy.
good. And there's one other way to score points that we didn't talk about earlier, and that's if a member of the defense happens to tackle someone on the offense in their own end zone and they have the ball at the time, that's called a safety, and that's worth 2 points. That's one of the plays we didn't talk about earlier.
All right, I got it.
Hey, Lois, suit up. We're taking it to the field.
Yeah, I'm still kind of baffled about the storytelling here. Like, why didn't this guy just explain it? Why did he have to bring in his... I mean, I know, like, why didn't they just have the football guy be the friend?
Lois, are you ready for this?
I don't know. And I said he was a terrific...
Or do you think this is like, maybe it's a way to tell women, like, hey, you know, maybe the game is boring, but it's got these, you know, bow hunks in it. Is that what they're trying? Oily bow hunks. Is that what they're saying?
guy.
You said that about me?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, come on, Tom. Let's go, Lois. Come on, here you go. Let's go.
Tackle the TV.
Great run.
Oh, man. Look at this. Wow. Tim will teach her the shotgun. Hey, what's up, Candy Warhol?
Okay. All right, the first thing that goes on before any play is that's the huddle.
Oh,
okay?
That's when all those guys get together in a circle, right?
That's right.
Okay.
Let's get into the huddle. Because this is where all the secrets go on the team.
Yeah.
Okay, Tom, what'd you have for dinner?
Spaghetti and meatballs with a little salad on the side.
Great.
What'd you have, Lois?
I had chicken, but I didn't have any salad.
But what really goes on in the huddle is that they call the play.
Huh.
The quarterback calls the play to the team, and then they go out and run it. But sometimes when they get up there, they got to change the play, the audible.
What's an audible?
Well, an audible is when the quarterback calls the play in the huddle, he goes up to the line of scrimmage, and he sees that the defense...
USFL, I was going to say, I don't think it was probably NFL just because they're, like, incredibly litigious. I even put up the thing out of panic for a second. What's up, BB?
This is going to stop that play dead. So he changes it on the line of scrimmage with his team's terminology.
What, like calling out a number or a color, right, Tim? And then all the teammates know that the play has been changed.
That's right. Let's try running the play.
Okay,
Okay.
Lois? You're the quarterback. What do you think we should do?
I think Tim ought to start running, and I'll get the ball to him.
All right, let's
All
go.
right.
Break.
Okay.
Time to ball.
All right.
Let's ball.
How does your nose fit inside that helmet?
People don't say that very much anymore. It used to be in the 80s, you heard it like all the time.
Line me 6. Line me 7. 80.
He had the last name on the jersey, too. I don't think so. I don't get too many sports. I mean, this is, unless it's combat sports or it's e-girl sports, there's really not much that comes up in my feed that's sports. Well, wrestling.
Hey, great catch, Tim.
Thanks, Tom.
Nice pass, Lois.
Yeah,
Great
thanks.
pass.
Hey, Tim,
Maybe somebody made like a YouTube doc about it we can watch sometime.
What kind of pattern was that you ran?
That was a down and out.
What's that?
Well, a down and out just is when the receiver runs down the field and out towards the sideline. But
Wow,
before,
look at
let
her
me show you some
pose.
other pass routes. But first,
Very open.
you know, we showed you this basic formation before.
Yeah.
Well, it has a lot of variations. One of them can be when the
That's how Grace sits in the RV.
quarterback, he doesn't always have to be behind the center. He can back up and be a couple yards behind him. That's called a shotgun formation.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Well, another thing is, too, to know about a formation is which side is a weak side and which side is a strong side. And it's very simple. All the strong side is the side of the field that they have two receivers.
Yeah.
So here's a tight end and a wide receiver on
He
this
hate
side.
me.
So this would be the strong side.
Yeah, you
Okay.
hear that you hear the announcers say that a lot on television, the strong side, weak side.
ATF cutting a promo on Thorpe fans.
Right. That only refers to which side of the offensive team has more players on it.
I see.
So this side is stronger because it has more players.
I see.
Okay.
Pretty simple.
Yeah.
Okay, now, about the pass routes, all the receivers have generally the same pass routes. Like, I ran a down and out, which you threw the ball to me.
Right.
The wide receivers can run a down and out, and so can the
Candy watches all those people, ATF media.
running backs. They can all run down and outs. A down and out is down the field and out towards the sideline. Now, an in route would be down the field and in towards the middle.
Okay.
Pretty simple, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, what we call a streak
Randy.
or a bomb would be when the wide receiver or the tight end or any receiver goes down the field as far as he can. That's when you see those real long throws by the quarterback.
All right.
Yeah, that's when you hear the announcer say he threw a bomb, meaning he threw it way out there. Is that right?
That's right. Okay.
When he says he threw a bomb, he doesn't mean an explosive device. He just means it was a long pass.
Now, another route would be a post.
Thank you,
And
it's
that
me.
means he's going to run down the field and run right towards the goal post.
Well, that makes sense.
Right.
Yeah, that's a post pattern.
Post pattern. Now, another
Post
one, the
pattern.
opposite of a post pattern, would be a corner pattern. So he'd run down the field and run towards the corner.
That
Okay.
makes sense, too.
Right. And the tight end can do the same patterns also. And the tight end, one of his better patterns is coming across the field. Okay?
Yeah.
And a lot of times they call
Okay.
that a bootleg. When the tight end runs across the field and the quarterback sprints out to the sideline and throws in the ball.
Okay.
Okay.
I would love to know, Mr. Stinky Brew, like, I would love to talk to someone who watched this video or got it as a gift back in the day to get their thoughts on it. I just don't know who the target audience for this is at all.
Bootleg.
Unless it's like many things where they're just hoping someone will see it and be like, wow, that's interesting. Or, oh, wow, my husband watches football and buys it like impulsively and then never uses it.
Right. Now, one of the plays that is better for a running back is a screen pass, because this enables the
screen
lineman to get
pass.
out in front of him. And he'll swing out to the side here, go to the sideline, and the quarterback will look like he's going to throw downfield to one of these guys and turn and hit the running back over here. That gives the lineman time to come over in front of him and get a lot of blocking in front of him.
So they call that a screen pass.
That's right. Okay.
And it's because these four guys are screening the running back who's getting the pass thrown to him.
Right.
I see.
Okay. Now, the next play,
Okay.
it really isn't a pass, it's more of a run, is a draw play. But the unique thing about that is that it's a fake pass, and they give it to the running back to run. And what they're trying to do...
989 Studios, literally, that's what she is. At the beginning of the movie, she was like, she got mad, in fact, because she was so confused by football. That's why we're sitting through this, is because, I don't know if this guy's her crush or what, but his idea to help her was to take her to meet his, like, much superior friend.
by the word draw, is draw all these defensive linemen up the field in their pass rush. They're going to all
The field should be 306.17 feet, agreed.
rush the quarterback, and what the quarterback is going to do is he's going to look downfield at one of these guys going real deep, and then what he's going to do is he's going to hand it off to the running back. So what happens, everyone is coming upfield, missing the running back, and all the defensive backs are dropping back. So it's a real effective run.
Yeah.
Yeah. Draw.
When
Draw.
everything's
Good play.
dying.
Yeah.
Okay, now one of the things that a lot of the teams like to do when it's real short yardage. Remember, like I was telling you, 1st and 10, or 2nd and 5. Well, a 4th and 1 yard, or 4th and 1 foot, or even 3rd down and a foot, they'll run a quarterback sneak, and that's a real high percentage play, meaning that the quarterback is just going to follow the center, and the center's going to block for him. He's just going to go right in behind him. That's a good play for a couple yards.
Okay.
Yeah, because sometimes all they need is just inches.
That's right.
And you hear that play a lot in a football
That's what she needs, too.
game, quarterback sneak, when they either need a touchdown for just inches away, or they need a first down, and even though they're in their 4th down, they have inches to go, they do that quarterback sneak.
Well, they got to fill the video up south to west. Maybe they're relying on people. It's only half an hour, so I don't think they're envisioning it as a multi-session video, but I do think they're just info dumping, and this is not a good way to retain information for most people, I don't think.
Sneak.
That's right. And you know, on some of those short yardage plays, when the defense knows that they're going to be running the ball, they'll have safety blitzes, and they'll bring these guys right up on the line of scrimmage and blitz them across the line.
Oh, yeah, blitz. That's a commonly used word.
That's right.
On a football game. Blitz, you hear that all the time.
That's
But
right.
Blitz.
When the guys way in the back there, the safeties, come running all the way in and rush the quarterback, that's what a safety blitz is.
Right.
Okay. You know, when the referee's making all those signals, the hand signals, he's got his arms up in the air, what do they mean?
Lois, have I got a surprise for you?
Uh-oh, here we go.
Sometimes when you're watching football, you see
What's going on here? What's all over his... Is there... Am I crazy? Is there something... Is he in blackface? What's all over his face? Or is that the lighting?
Guy on the field dressed like a zebra, kind of like I'm dressed right now. And he's waving his arms all over the place, and you're trying to figure out, what is he talking about? Pay attention.
There ain't going to be no DP scene. This guy's getting cut out of everything.
Lois, a lot of these signals really don't even need an explanation.
Yeah.
Like that one there.
Right, that's a touchdown.
That's right. And this one...
Why is he in blackface? I have no idea what's going on with this guy.
That was a first down. And that one's a scoring signal. That means safety. 2 points.
Yeah, Tom does that well.
See, he's signaling to them that he's willing to just be a referee. He doesn't have to participate directly in the game.
Yeah. That one means...
But he may offer suggestions along the way.
Incomplete pass, a missed field goal or extra point, or a penalty refused.
Uh-huh.
Timeout. Dog on the field. That's illegal procedure. That means someone went in motion or a false start.
Yeah.
Offsides. Yeah. That means somebody crossed over the line of scrimmage before they were supposed to.
Yeah, Tom looks pretty funny.
Yeah. Personal foul. That means somebody was just probably a little too rough out there.
Yeah. Tom is pretty funny.
That one means illegal use of the hands. That usually happens in pass interference.
Well, I mean, what was the need to... I don't understand it. The guy's been in the whole video and hasn't looked like this, and now all of a sudden they're like, you need to rub a bunch of shit on your face? What's going on here?
That's a wide receiver.
Is this an OPC Don callback?
A defensive back going at it. Holding. That's usually an offensive lineman penalty right there. He usually holds the defensive lineman so he can't get near the quarterback.
This guy's well, no, he's got to be offense because the guy said he was scoring touchdowns, but he seemed a little biased there.
That one's hitting below the waist, and that usually happens on a kickoff or a punt.
That's what you usually do.
Punt? Only when I'm in trouble. That one's clipping right there. That's clipping. That's when they're hit in the back, when the other player isn't looking.
Okay.
That's face masking right there. That's when you get your head all jiggled around.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one right there.
She's ready to roll, man.
That means you're gone. You're out of the game.
This is such a weird video.
Tim, I hear the announcer saying man-to-man defense a lot. What does it mean?
Tom, move to your left. Move to your right.
What are you doing?
Well, I tell you, I'm not dancing with Tom. What I'm doing is I'm showing you what man-to-man coverage is. Wherever
Oh,
Tom
no, it
goes,
did it again?
I'm going to go.
That's right, and I'll tell you
We were just talking about that.
he's not going to let me catch the ball if he can help it.
That's right. That's what man-to-man coverage is. Just like it is here on the field. The guy in the white jersey is going to try to catch the ball, but the guy in the dark jersey sure isn't going to let him.
He's staying right
Ben admitted he doesn't know much about sports, just like regatta.
with him. You get the feeling if the guy in the white jersey ran out of the stadium and went all the way to Taiwan, the guy in the black jersey would follow him.
Every play that we've seen so far, it's been very structured. Every player's had their own assignment to do, where he's supposed to go. But, you know, that's the great thing about football, because on every play, they can improvise. And that happens a lot in football, and that's what makes it so exciting. Like on this play, you see the running back is designed to go to the right, the play here, but he sees an opening to the left and cuts back across the field.
It's what you hear the announcer say on television, cutting across the grain, which simply means going opposite the flow.
Another type of pass pattern is a swing pass, and what happens there is the running back swings out like a door opening, and the quarterback throws him the ball. But I tell you what, Lois, you know what? This is a great example of what we call play action or a play fake. And what happens there is the quarterback takes the ball and he fakes it to the running back and then throws it to another player. I tell you, that one really screws up the defense.
You know, it all looks so smooth, Tim. It looks like clockwork or ballet. I mean, what happens if one of the players...
Yeah, I agree, Ember. I don't know if I would want, like, to deeply discuss all of my hobbies, like, constant, you know what I mean? I think that would kind of get on my nerves.
Moves up.
I think it's good to have, like, like your own shit as well as like shared stuff if you're in a relationship.
That, Lois, leads to one of the biggest embarrassments and some of the most exciting moments in watching football.
Tom, you're not going to believe this. I want you to take a look at this. Look at this pass now. Look at that. It's in the air. Isn't that a great spiral? There's only one.
Speaking of makeup, did you guys see the last Dutch Mantel? Oh my gosh, man, he trumped up big time. I don't know what. I don't know if he. I know he's a like big Trump supporter. I wonder if he did it because of that. But like he was, his face was completely orange. It was crazy, and like the orange dust and stuff was in his mustache. It looked like when Ben's eating Cheetos. We need Dave's channel in here for the Ben Cheeto reference.
Problem.
The wrong guy caught the ball.
That's right. An interception.
An interception.
That's right. That's when one team throws the ball and the other team catches it.
It's that simple.
This was my best hope for the episode, so it's going to be a rough ride from here, folks.
You know what a fumble is, don't you?
We're in for one.
It's when you drop the ball.
When I drop the ball, real funny. Well, in this play, he has a little help here. He gets hit pretty hard.
ATF Media, you should call it a Thorpe.
And actually, he got stripped of the ball here.
And you'll hear the announcer say that sometimes, stripped of the ball, which is a fumble, like you say.
Yeah. Another important thing about this play is that the defense.
I don't. You never heard of a woman wanting to come out and talk about mowing the lawn? Speaking of toilets, didn't he have a hand in the USFL? I don't know. Is this the body break couple?
Defense recovered the ball, and they get to go on off.
There's no couples here. This is a chick. This is her platonic male friend that for some reason she watches football with religiously but knows nothing about it. She asked him for some help so that she could better relate to him, and he took her to his much taller, much more muscular and well-spoken friend to take care of her needs.
Offense, so that's called change of possession.
Mm-hmm. Okay, on television all the time you hear the word blitz. And as far
I don't really know much about the USFL. I would watch a documentary about it though.
as I can tell, that seems to be
The XFL doc I thought was pretty good on Netflix.
when a bunch of guys are clobbering the guy with the ball.
You know, that's very close, because the word blitz actually comes from the word blitzkrieg.
What are you, a war historian?
Oh boy, here we go. He's like, yeah, it's actually the Blitzkrieg.
But I tell you, you are right, Tom, because the two things that make the blitz so effective are first, that it's a surprise. And the second is, like here, the linebackers are going to blitz.
ATF Media's had that little factoid loaded up the whole stream, ready to unload it.
And that enables them to have more people rushing the quarterback than the offense can handle blocking.
Blitzkrieg.
And it ends in a sack.
A sack. Now, there's a word I hear all the time, and I
She wants to end up in a sack.
don't know what it is.
Well, that's just with the quarterback, and he gets tackled before he can get rid of the ball.
So then sack only pertains to the quarterback.
That's right.
Okay, you guys, you got me over here to learn about football, and I've really learned a lot. But what used to excite me the most was a touchdown, and I haven't seen one.
Well, you know what? We say the best for last. Here.
So she said she's most excited by touchdowns, and we already know from her friend that this guy is like known for scoring touchdowns. It's over for this guy. Wasn't the XFL, isn't it technically still around? Didn't it merge with another football company and like The Rock owns it now or something like that?
There it is. The quarterback drops back. He looks short. He looks deep. He launches the ball.
I think it's an interception, Tim. Interception.
No, I don't think so, Tom. I think this is going to be 6.
Look out.
Great catch. Pay dirt, Tom.
Touchdown.
Great catch. That's the reason I love to play football, and catch those touchdown passes.
And you know something? That's the reason I love to watch football. It's so exciting. You know, all this football has made me kind of hungry. Why don't we go back to my place and order a pizza?
Good.
I'm going to make one of these where I explain the Thorpes to somebody, to a couple who's looking for YouTube guidance.
Idea.
You know, it's a great idea. Why don't you go get it, and I'll go to your house with Tim.
All right.
Okay, let's go.
What happens if you lose? Nobody. I mean, it matters in the UFC because if you continue to lose, obviously they would fire you. But as far as like the fans, I don't think it matters. There's so few people who are engaging and entertaining in the UFC, and so many people try but like fail at it. It doesn't matter how many times Conor McGregor loses, really, because he will just ignore it, right? He'll just move. He won't even acknowledge what happened. He'll just move on, and he'll be just as loud. Now, if you're the kind of person who gets broken down by that, yeah, but I think it's always good to be able to cut good promos for sure. because you're going to sell tickets, and if you sell tickets, maybe you don't make it in the UFC, but you'll get on somewhere because you'll be able to get people into the building.
They're crazy about me. Hey, Tim, I meant to tell you, last game, that was a great catch you made in the end zone.
Thanks a lot.
Let me ask you something. Was that ball thrown to you?
You kidding me? That's a Hail Mary.
I thought so.
Yeah.
A Hail Mary? You mean you guys pray out there?
Well, yeah, that's true, but I just think people are forgiving if you're entertaining. Like, if they really want to see you lose or they really want to see you win, either way, like, I think you can still keep your heat.
No. Well, that's close.
Yeah.
In football, a Hail Mary is... Oh, here, let me give you the scenario.
Okay.
It's 4th down, 3 seconds to go in the game. You need a touchdown to win,
Yeah.
okay? You have 60 yards to go for the touchdown. Quarterback gets the ball, and he sends all of his receivers downfield. Okay, they all get in the end zone. Quarterback goes back.
Throws the ball high into the air and hopes that one of his receivers will catch it in the end zone for 6 points.
Are they having the post-DP pizza party? Pizza party.
So he threw up a prayer.
Exactly.
Just invite a buddy over, get down to it, order some Pizza Hut, talk
You know,
football.
you really learned a lot today.
Yeah, I have. To be perfectly honest with you guys,
This is Machiavelli's grandma's basement again.
I've seen a lot of football, and I always sort of felt left out, you know? I mean, I just didn't really get it. And thanks to you two, I've learned a lot, and I really appreciate it. Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I'm looking forward to seeing a game now.
You know what we ought to do? We ought to go bowling after this.
Right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, you guys, I think there's a game.
They have that
Hey, we got a whole pizza here. Let's go bowling. Right now? Yeah.
place,
Football
36
game
lanes.
on.
Not far from here.
Right. A couple blocks away.
I know. You know what? They got those pinball machines in the back. After we bowl, what
Quiet,
we'll
you
do,
guys. Look, it's 3rd and 5. Looks like a pass play. Quarterback going back. Wide receiver going deep. Oh my gosh, it's a blitz. He got sacked. Well, I guess we'll have to punt.
Thanks for ruining football for me. Spectacular, man. What a video. It was exactly what I thought it was going to be. They all use their real names too. Here's I think the most memorable part is that they had to bring him out in a towel for some reason. At the end of my video teaching the people about Thorpe TV, the wife will annoy the husband by saying like, "Suffa Lalo." Oklahoma. Hey, get crack. I don't want to put any conspiracy theories out there, but there was a guy who worked on this whose name was Helmut. It's in my contract, bro. I gotta walk out in a towel. I also have to be seated higher than you during the pizza party. Daily Planet, isn't that where Clark Kent worked? Halcyon Days. Man, the drums are crazy. 86, by the way. 86. Man, that was good shit. To receive your free MPI home video catalog, write to MPI Home Video. I worked with them for a long time doing movie reviews. Department 1400. What they actually had the rights for a while to Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer. I think they did distribution for the original Texas Chainsaw for a while. Helmut. That drum was like crushing, man. So intense.
this Highgate isn't the one in London, it's a suburb of Adelaide. But it's the advert's last sentence that brought out a local TV reporter's crusading instincts.
I'd just like to ask you a few questions about the house you've got for sale.
Well, I'd rather not answer it.
Why not?
Because I don't want to. I'm not going to spell my business to anybody over there. Yeah, no.
Well, I'm not interested in how much you want for the house. I'm just interested in why you don't want any Asians to buy it and move in.
Well, because the simple reason they're too lazy.
Why don't you want Asians moving into your house?
Because I don't like the Asians, that's all it is.
You don't want them in your place?
They're just a mob of crooks, that's all they are.
And that there's a law against what you're doing?
Well, no one has told me that, and I mean to say even the Asians...
You think it's wrong?
Even the Asians himself, he said, I can have my sign up.
I should have paused for like a couple minutes. That drum was so... I mean, that was absolutely unhinged drumming.
If I get a buyer, I can sell it.
But you won't sell it to an Asian person?
If they come up with a buyer, yes. All they're interested about is just to put the sign up. That's all. I've had them agents, I haven't knocked them back.
What would... Oh, no, agents. do you know what
Asians, I'm sorry. Well, that's a bad expression.
Is that what you say, no Asians?
No.
You say no agents?
Agents, sorry.
Just a misunderstanding, guys.
Agents, of course, being one of the minorities that anybody can slag off.
This evening will be one fall. Introducing in this corner, 245 pounds from Portland, Scott.
Available in mono, or in mono where available.
Ferris. His opponent in this corner, 237 pounds from New York, Ron Ritchie. Referee, Sandy Barr.
Ron Ritchie's still working on that beard of his. Taking his time getting in.
Hey, Ananje.
Yeah, look pretty good, I think, when he finishes that. Scott Ferris, Ron Ritchie. I have no idea if this is going to be a scientific match. I thought the one last week was going to be, and didn't really turn out to be that way. Scott...
Look at this venue. Like, what a place to have a wrestling match, man.
Got a little upset and...
Dollar store Harley race.
Did some things we weren't expecting of Scott Ferris. Referee Sandy Barr. Oh, we've got some great news for you. Boy, I tell you, we've got all kinds of news here for you. We'll be passing that along to you a little bit later on.
I just love the vibe.
Dutch Savage will be here in just a little bit. We're going to be giving you a list of the cities in professional wrestling will be appearing. Take down some notes on that. Oh, a good clean break by Ron Ritchie and Scott Ferris. Ritchie getting the first move on Mr. Ferris. Oh,
yeah, I was thinking Hercules too a little bit.
Good move by Scott. Both these men pretty evenly matched. Both very powerfully built. Powerful upper bodies. Side headlock by Ritchie. Oh,
ooh.
To a hammer lock. And a reversal by Scott Ferris. Oh, look at that.
Oh.
Ron Ritchie from Buffalo, New York, made a very impressive Northwest debut a few months ago.
What promotion is this? Gosh, Portland. Yeah, Portland.
See some pretty fast
Pacific.
too.
What did it say? June 25th, 1983, at the Portland Sports Arena. What a great venue, man.
See some good amateur style moves as well as very powerful professional moves too. His side head scissors applied by.
I would take him the correct shirt the next week. It's me.
Scott Ferris. Oh, Ferris came right down on Ritchie, and Ritchie kicks out. Not only is Ritchie still dazed, but his nose is bleeding. There's a whip into the ropes. Oh, wham! Oh, mercy. see. Sure, Ferris must have felt that back to his ancestors on that one, right in the midsection.
Oh my God.
Richie's going to go up to the first, second rope, coming down. Oh, man, this might be it. 1, 2, no.
I've seen some matches, but I've never seen like an entire show or like been able to get any like consecutive to like look at the booking or anything. Mr. Stinky Brew.
Apparently, Ferris has his hand out over the bottom rope. There's an elbow on top of the head.
What was that elbow?
Well, he's trying for a body slam, but almost got himself up into a small package.
I'm being 100%. I did not pick this match because it was so terrible. I actually didn't see it. I just saw that it fit. I wanted 2 jobbers, basically, and then I wanted like a shorter match. I had no idea it was this bad, but it worked out perfect.
Ferris rolled Richie around into a small package and got the 3 count on him.
The algorithm, man, you just cannot, you can't debate my algorithm just knows me.
I think that's what it was. At least from this angle, it looked like, yeah, that's what it was, all right. Not a popular decision by the crowd. Richie's nose is still bleeding.
You're great with a small package, working like in coordination with one or working offensively as one.
But Scott Ferris has taken our first fall of the evening over Ron Ritchie.
Yeah, that was really out there. Wow. Scott Ferris versus Kurt Hennig. See, that one was too long. I couldn't pick that one.
As we said before, when professional wrestling does come to your area,
this guy looks like just like my dad.
Out and really enjoy.
Wow.
Heroic, high class, heavenly, hypnotic, historical, horizontal, heartthrob, hillbilly, hungry,
hillbilly,
homemade. Double Feature Friday brings you Hollywood hunks every Friday night, only on HBO.
The plan. No. The cinnamon. No. The chocolate.
Dunkin' Donuts introduces new minis. They're smaller than our regular donuts, so now you don't have to choose just one. You can have more of your favorites each time you come in.
No, the frosted, the coffee rolls, the banana, the cake.
Buy plenty of new Dunkin' Minis, so you won't get caught short.
This is the 10 o'clock news.
Now, I do think that clip has special relevance because Ben was so upset when he was starving and Grace brought him Dunkin' and he thought he was getting like regular Dunkin' and instead she got him like the mini munchkins. So I thought that was a perfect Thorpe tie-in for ATF Media.
Good evening, I'm Koran Mahalik. John is off tonight. The Woody Mia saga is not over yet. Tonight, the talk of the town is what happened at a custody hearing. Kyung Yoon has the latest on this emotional day in court.
Flanked by his lawyers, a smiling Woody Allen walked confidently into Manhattan Supreme Court less than 24 hours after being cleared of sexual abuse charges.
Hey, Bob
in
Brown.
this round 2, Allen takes the stand for the first time in his custody battle with former lover Mia Farrow over 3 children, including 7-year-old Dylan, the focus of the abuse allegations. But Allen's testimony also centered around Farrow's 22-year-old adopted daughter, Suni, with whom Allen admits he has had an affair since December of 1991. When Judge Elliot Wilk asked Allen whether it ever occurred to him that he was sleeping with the sister of his children, Allen replied, quote, "I didn't see it that way. She was an adopted child. I had deep feelings for her. I never thought of it that way." Farrow gazed coldly at Allen throughout most of his testimony, but broke down when...
This is the New York 10 o'clock news from March 19th, 1993, by the way.
He detailed his affair with Suni. Allen also testified he had not slept with Farrow during the last 5 years of their 12-year relationship. He described how Farrow flew into a rage when she discovered nude photos of Suni in Allen's apartment, saying, quote, "She was beside herself with rage and anger. I said that I wanted to marry Suni, and she was alternately raging and ferocious with me." But let's go with David. Fox 5 cameras caught Farrow and her attorney slipping out of the courthouse trying to dodge reporters. Meanwhile, Allen's lawyer had this to say.
We are ecstatic that Judge Wilk can try the case right away instead of waiting months, which we thought he would have to do. We are confident that after all the evidence is in, we will prevail at the custody hearing.
Allen will be back on the stand for more testimony and possibly cross-examination on Monday. Then it'll be Mia Farrow's turn to tell the judge her side of the story in this bitter and most public custody battle. Reporting from Manhattan Supreme Court, I'm Kyung Yoon, Fox News.
And a 2-week truce of sorts at the New York Post. Right now, you'll be ready to look at a live picture, there we are, of the Post building on South Street, where presses are ready to begin rolling on Saturday's paper. Christopher Jones tells us right now, Abe Hirschfeld sealed the latest deal with a kiss.
Yeah, what the hell? Can you do it again? Make some noise.
Call it the $600,000 kiss. For Pete Hamill, it means a $500,000 salary and a $100,000 expense account. For 701 employees of the New York Post, it means their jobs, but it may not mean true love.
Judge put us together, we listened, he put us together, and that's the best future for the Post.
It was quite a day in federal bankruptcy court, a day many had believed would be the first day of the final act of the 192-year-old drama.
Yeah, caught in 360p.
That has been the New York Post. Just about all the players were on hand, and of course there was the man the court has been saying is in charge, Abe Hirschfeld.
Oh, somebody was doing a coke wipe?
Hirschfeld, who until this afternoon has been labeled as loony by Pete Hamill, the editor installed by a rebellious Post staff who refused to obey Hirschfeld's orders. And there were the lawyers, scores of them, at one point inspiring the bankruptcy court judge to compare them to tag team wrestlers, each scrambling to get into the ring. For much of the day, it looked like Hirschfeld would prevail, and his choice as editor, Wilbert Tatum, known mainly for his defense of Tawana Brawley's hoax and his alleged anti-Semitism, would be installed over a Post staff in open revolt.
Some of the lawyers question whether there would be any advertising at the Post if you're co-publisher.
No comment. But when the dust had settled, the court had worked out a deal.
Oh my God.
With the two former antagonists, Pete Hamill and Abe Hirschfeld, partners, with Abe all too willing to kiss and make up.
The Post lives forever.
We put it together, basically editorial autonomy. We have control of the city room, and we'll put out a newspaper like newspapermen should. He's the businessman, he'll run the business side.
But assuming $600,000 isn't enough of an incentive.
Hey, what is the real reason? Why are you doing this?
Basically so that we can get a couple of weeks of being able to show what we...
I saw the documentary, the George South documentary, but unfortunately it looks like it's owned by, or at least it's licensed by High Spots, and they'll immediately kill the stream if we watched it.
What we started out to do here before this all got so confused.
As for the Post employees, it's back to work. With Pete Hamill in charge, Abe Hirschfeld signing the checks, Wilbert Tatum essentially powerless, and maybe, just maybe, with that tear on Alexander Hamilton's face beginning to be replaced by a smile.
You called him crazy not so long ago. Have you changed your mind?
So what? I am crazy. Look at him.
He said
Here's Exhibit A.
So just in case you thought you'd seen it all, apparently there has been a happy resolution to a story everybody thought would end with misery. Pete Hamill, who still apparently thinks his boss is crazy, working for a man who says he loves Pete. Only in New York. Christopher Jones, Fox News.
Guys, don't let George South divide us.
And prosecutors in New Jersey appealed to the state Supreme Court to revoke bail for 3 men convicted in the Glen Ridge, New Jersey sexual assault trial. The prosecutors say the young men face tough prison terms and might take off before they are sentenced next month. A decision on that appeal is expected on Tuesday. The 3 men could get to 40 years for sexually assaulting a mildly retarded girl. And the controversy is building in the case of Dr. Linus Kokoris. He is the Queens doctor who was shot and killed last month by police in Westchester County. An attorney for the doctor's family says new testing shows that Kokoris had no drugs or alcohol in his system at the time of the shooting. Police say Kokoris attacked 2 officers who approached him after he stopped his car in the middle of a street. A woman who told police she was brutally raped by an executive in her own company at a Manhattan
Boy, the New York news is dark in 1993. Jeez.
hotel helped police get him in a sting operation. George Smith is in Soho right now with the latest on that story. George?
Well, Coran, the sting operation took place here at the 211 restaurant on West Broadway. The police say the alleged rape actually took place about a month ago at a New York
What's it about, ATF Media?
City hotel. Well, the victim in this case worked with police, and together they managed to capture the suspect talking about the incident on tape. The rape allegedly took place February 18th at the Omni Berkshire Place Hotel. 37-year-old Thomas Luchadori, who was staying here, met
Thomas Luchadori?
the 27-year-old woman for dinner at a restaurant inside the hotel.
Luchadori.
Both worked for Mitsubishi International in Pittsburgh and had come to New York for business. Police say the woman felt ill after dinner, and Luchadori offered her the use of a bathroom in his suite. Once inside the room, police allege Luchadori threw the woman down, tied her to the bed with his necktie, gagged her with a washcloth and her stockings, and brutally raped and sodomized her for 4 hours. After reporting the incident to police, the woman arranged to have dinner here at the 211 restaurant on Broadway.
She looked afraid. She looked nervous, very nervous. She was white as a ghost.
Police had bugged a table near the window and captured Luchadori apologizing to the victim on audio and videotape. No one in the restaurant was aware of the sting.
As soon as he walked outside, officers came pouring out of the van. They quickly started frisking him and they pushed him up against the railing. They handcuffed him.
Mitsubishi issued a statement after the arrest.
If what he's been accused of did happen, it's very appalling.
Luchadori is being charged with sodomy, kidnapping, and rape. He faces up to 25 years in prison if convicted. We understand that he is now free on a $100,000 bond. We're also told that he has been fired from Mitsubishi. That's the latest from here. Reporting live from Manhattan, I'm George Smith. Brian, back to you.
Thank you very much, George. In other news, new hope for a peaceful end to that deadly standoff in
Now we're getting into some national news.
Waco, Texas. Federal authorities spoke on the phone this morning with
I was going to say that what he described leading up to it does sound like what Ben's take on female fantasy.
religious cult leader David Koresh, and the FBI says he sounds willing to work out a solution. However, he has disappointed negotiators in the past, as you know. And Koresh and his followers have been holed up at the religious compound since a gunfight with federal agents 3 weeks ago. Supreme Court Justice Byron White says after 31 years on the High Court, it's time to give somebody else a chance. He will retire this summer. Justice White will be remembered as a true conservative on issues like abortion and defendants' rights. The sports world remembers him also as Whizzer White, the college football All-American at the University of Colorado. With his retirement, President Clinton has a chance to tilt the court back toward the left. As Niles Latham tells us now, a list of...
I like seeing the national news stories in this to get like an idea. I mean, like I remember at the time, but like it's been 30 years. So like you kind of like, you don't know if you're remembering it right. So like seeing how the media covers some of this stuff is just really interesting to me.
Candidates is being gathered.
President Clinton was on his way to Atlanta, Georgia to stump for his economic plan when Justice Byron White announced his retirement.
I did not anticipate having the opportunity to make an appointment.
You guys ever see that show with Boogie 2988? He's from the same state as me.
At this early
he made Boogie 2988 the state comptroller.
Stage, so we don't have a big bank of potential nominees. I'll go to work on it tomorrow.
Supreme Court nominations have proved to be defining moments for presidents. As he toured a child development center, the president hinted he wants someone who is pro-choice on abortion and someone who will act as a...
Why do you think ATF Media is here for every stream unless it's the Thorpes? Because the Thorpes are federal chaos agents, and ATF Media can't be in here during those streams because it would taint any, intergovernmental cooperation.
counterbalance to conservatives on the high court.
He does have a different view of the Constitution than perhaps other presidents
Yo,
have, and I think
Hillary,
that will be
looking
reflected in his appointment.
Oh,
On the
that's somebody
campaign
else.
trail, candidate Clinton mentioned one name.
I think Governor Cuomo would be a good Supreme Court justice.
Oh, Lord, yeah, right.
Cuomo was in Albany, refusing comment. Others figuring prominently in early speculation, Harvard legal scholar Lawrence Tribe and Arkansas Circuit Court Judge Richard Arnold. Also on the short list, Federal Appeals Court Judge Patricia Wald, whom Clinton unsuccessfully tried to persuade to become his attorney general.
Also being considered action superstar Charles Bronson.
Children's Defense Fund President Marion Wright Edelman is also a favorite of the influential Hillary wing of the White House. But she says she's not interested.
I am doing what the Lord put me on this earth to do. I want to be a full-time voice for children. I am happy with what I do. I would never go inside government in any role.
White House officials say the president intends to take his time. Justice White won't step down until the end of his term, giving the president 6 months to carefully select this nominee. Niles Latham, Fox News in Atlanta, Georgia.
And still ahead on the 10 o'clock news, the Long Island woman who police say followed in Amy Fisher's footsteps all the way to jail.
Ooh, Amy
An
Fisher,
exclusive
nice.
interview with the brother of one of the men charged with bombing the World Trade Center.
Oh,
I'm 100%
loaded episode.
sure
Wow.
that my brother is innocent, and I'm sure that.
Hey. That's just all he would have to do. Hey, is this Italy? Forget about it, Pally. Don't make me come over there.
He wouldn't do such a thing because he's the one.
Hey, is this the Vatican? You believe in Jesus? You're gonna meet him.
That take care of us in the house, and plus he has a pregnant wife, and I don't think he'll do that thing.
Also, exclusive pictures of Eddie Murphy's wedding at the Plaza Hotel. We're coming right back.
What an episode, dude. The Long Island Lolita, hell yeah. Amy Fisher, what a story.
No.
Tracking, guys.
Because Dodge's no money down days are going strong right now. Get a new Dodge Caravan at a low, low price. With no money down, no waiting, and no payments till July. Who can say no, no, no to that? Dodge's no money down days with no payments till July. Hurry! We can't wait to say no.
For the first time, some of those rounded up in the investigation of the World Trade Center bombing are talking. They say the man believed by some to be the bomb builder is an innocent victim. Christopher Jones has this exclusive report.
All of us were sleeping at the time, and all I heard is the door broke, and they came in, they arrested everybody in the house.
Razik Ayad is the younger brother of Nidal Ayad, who was charged in connection with the infamous World Trade Center bombing. Razik was arrested but later released.
I'm 100% sure that he's innocent, and he has nothing to do with that.
Razik spoke exclusively with Fox interviewer Daphne Barak. He described the suspect as a good husband to a new bride and a dutiful son.
He's a very caring person. He always takes care of us and asks if we need any kind of help. He helped me do my schoolwork, and that's it. He's a very intelligent guy. I think it's a mistake that just because he's a friend of the suspect that they arrested.
But authorities charged Nidal Ayad, a chemical engineer, with aiding and abetting Mohammed Salameh, the first man arrested for the bombing. They claim the two men even shared a New Jersey bank account.
Do you know Mohammed Salameh?
No, I just saw him a couple times. He came over to congratulate.
Salameh, wasn't that the song by David Lee Bahart on Tim and Eric? Salameh.
My brother on his marriage, and that's it. That's the time I saw him.
Authorities claim another link between the two men is a Jersey City mosque where a radical Muslim cleric, Sheikh Omar Abdul Rahman, preaches.
That sheikh I never heard
What a
about
character,
him
man.
Until they show him on TV. And I don't think my brother knew him either. We're just normal Muslim people. We're not fanatics.
He looks like the guy that I bought my magic lamp from that I rubbed to get that collaboration between Ruby and Grace.
Just a few months ago, Nidal celebrated his wedding to a young Jordanian woman. Fox News has obtained exclusively these pictures of Ayad with his 18-year-old bride, Reem. She is now pregnant with their first child. Their marriage was arranged by his mother, who went to Jordan to make sure Reem was suitable for the family. They are now trying to free him on bail, and they visit him as often as possible.
I'm 100% sure that my brother is innocent, and I'm sure that he wouldn't do such a thing because he's the one that take care of us in the house. And plus he has a pregnant wife, and I don't think he'll do that.
Christopher Jones, Fox News.
A top investigator privately is saying it may not be a good idea to quickly give the boot to Sheikh Omar Abdelrahman. A judge ordered him deported, but a source in the bombing investigation says if that happens, officials never may be able to prosecute him if they do find evidence linking him to the bombing plot. He denies any involvement. Meantime, a man wanted for questioning in the bombing is still missing. His name is Mohammed Abu Lamia, and the FBI agents searched his apartment in Woodbridge, New Jersey for evidence they might link him to the crime. Residents say they do not know much about Abu Lima, but the agents have been very thorough in their search.
He's in his, the kid's in his 30s
out and
now.
going in with suitcases all day long.
Or 40s.
I mean, big ones, little ones.
What kind of complex? Is it a lot of people?
It's a lot of throughway. Like, a lot of people come and go. There's nobody that really stays here for any length of time.
Such a classic 90s mom look with the oversized stonewash jacket.
A lot of plates are from out of state, mainly New York.
Authorities believe that Abu Lima has fled the U.S. Well, back to work today for thousands of staffers at
Oh, look at that. There they are.
Number 2 World Trade Center. The Port Authority reopened floors 42 through 102. Every floor was cleaned and scrubbed, and any damage caused by the bombing was repaired.
Mohammed
It is the
Fusion.
first step in a 5-phase plan to get things back to normal at the Twin Towers.
Are you saying that just because I bought a magic lamp at a weird middle of the night bazaar that popped up near a melon stand? That seems a little judgmental.
John Cardinal O'Connor offered a massive Thanksgiving for the survivors of the Trade Center bombing. The mayor attended that service held in the chapel at St. Vincent's Hospital. Many of the people seriously injured in the bombing were treated at that hospital's trauma center.
True.
The story of a
Pit bull
2-year-old
attack.
baby boy attacked by a pit bull stunned a Brooklyn neighborhood. But tonight, there is a strange new twist to that story, as Gail Anderson found out.
I don't care how good the dog is.
We got most of the bombs out. Everybody back to
A
work.
pit bull shouldn't be allowed in the United States, anywhere, because it's a dangerous dog.
Anthony Calvaca sat dazed and wounded in his Bellevue hospital bed, wife Christine at his side, as they both recounted the horror of the Thursday afternoon attack of a stray pit bulldog, first on their pet collie, Queenie, then on their 2.5-year-old son, Anthony
Oh my God,
Jr.
the kid.
The dog attacked first over here, and it went down to the skull, to the bone.
Oh, hey, vegan patriot.
And it was very deep.
What's up, VP?
And he was bleeding from there. He has wounds up here, little wounds up here, all over his face, and his lip was severed. Not completely taken off, but a part of it was severed, and it was like hanging.
Calvaca says he managed to remove the dog from
Man, we got to get Ruby that Newport shirt.
his son's face. Then the dog attacked him, biting the unemployed
Hey,
deli
watch it,
clerk on
camera
his
guy.
left
Let's
thigh.
not get weird.
It felt like the dog was just going to rip my leg off.
I thought that dog was going to kill my son right then and there.
Fortunately, the dog didn't. Doctors
Foreshadowing.
report son and father are fine and will be released from the hospital Saturday. Investigators say they don't understand how the stray dog could have gotten inside this building, especially when you consider the dog would have had to pass not one, but 2 heavy doors. And at the second door, a resident would have to buzz you so you could get inside. Well, by late this afternoon, police say Calvaca confessed the pit bulldog that attacked him, his son, and the family dog was not a stray, but a new family pet bought Thursday for
Oh my God. What a story. So this guy brings this dog into the house. It literally attacks everyone, including their existing dog. Oh my God. And then he lied about it.
$20 from a pet center in Queens. The police investigation continues. Calvaca could face charges for filing a false report, as well as animal cruelty charges, because the dog was put to death, fearing it might have
Absolute bozo.
had rabies. The health department says it did not.
Jeez.
Gail Anderson, Fox News.
What a clown.
17 U.S. senators say
On a
it's
lighter
time that
note.
the FBI get involved in the battle over abortion. The senators called on the agency to investigate what they say is a pattern of violence and harassment at abortion clinics, including the recent murder of a doctor in Florida. But the FBI says it is powerless to do anything under current policies.
That Randy, I believe, was the victim dog. That was the dog that got attacked by the other dog.
The Bush administration ruled that anti-abortion activity does not violate federal law. A college student who supposedly used Amy Fisher as a role model found she was a very bad example. Donna Hanover reports.
Was Amy Fisher the inspiration for a budding prostitution business on Long Island? 23-year-old Renata Sogamanian of Oceanside is out on $250 bail for prostitution.
After seeing the Amy Fisher television movies, she got the idea that operating and running an escort service would be a quick way of making a lot of money.
This is the East Bay Diner in Oceanside, where Renata allegedly handed out this 3-page flyer describing very vividly sexual services for sale. This undercover detective responded to the flyer after one diner customer complained.
I went to the house as a prospective client. I told her I was interested in what she had to offer.
Renata was only speaking through her door.
They probably put the attacking dog down immediately, I would think.
She said her 2-week-old business was only an escort service offering friendship and companionship, and that the cops were wrong.
He broke me down. It was entrapment. We are a legitimate business, but no sex. No sex.
This winter, 3 TV networks aired movies about Amy Fisher, who pleaded guilty to assault in the
What do you think? Should we watch one sometime?
Shooting of Mary Jo Buttafuoco, the wife of her alleged lover. Fisher said she had prostituted herself at Joe Buttafuoco's suggestion. Renata denied the Amy Fisher comparison, but had definite
3 pages of different, of like a la carte things you could add to your session. Wow.
Opinions on the case.
I thought that she should never have shot Mary Jo. That was a big mistake.
There were also reports that Renata solicited students at Hofstra University, where she's a student, to work in an escort business.
Everybody's pretty much in a big shock about it, and I'm not sure if too many people actually believe it either, because there's really been no signs of it.
The dean of students has talked often with Renata and said there was no vice racket.
She's a quiet...
Vegan Patriot was like, what, 2 years old during this?
Gentle. I think from time to time confused young woman.
In their quiet neighborhood, residents said Renata's parents are hardworking immigrants from Russia, but Renata has a different reputation.
She can get crazy about things, but I really don't know what,
And what would lead people to that kind of conclusion?
Well, I think she forced an accident once. That's what
Yeah, I saw those south to west. Believe that.
I heard.
In fact, Renata is on probation for vehicular assault. Like Amy Fisher's family, Renata's tried to avoid the press. Didn't you see the ending on the Amy Fisher movies?
She indicated to us that she didn't want to go to jail.
In Oceanside, Long Island, I'm Donna Hanover, Fox News.
And still ahead, 86 million reasons why you should try to get your hands on a Florida lottery ticket. And that lovable purple dinosaur called Barney is at the center of a controversy. We'll be right back.
Uh-oh. Barney canceled?
In the heart of the city is a small town called Tribeca, where people live their lives one unforgettable story at a time, and the unexpected waits around every corner. Tuesday, executive producer Robert De Niro will take you there.
Oh man, this looks pretty good.
Tribeca.
Tuesday at 9 on Fox 5.
Tribeca.
My daughter, she's going to college. She needs a car. So we talked. She wanted this, she wanted that, she wanted ABS brakes. She's a very bright girl. So she looked, and she found a new Subaru Impreza. Well, I can't talk to her about a car, because I'm usually the cynic. But this Impreza left me speechless. So now I say things like, aren't you glad I told you about the new Impreza?
I'm still like, it's hard to stop thinking about how absolutely insane that drum beat was. It was like, it was maddening. It was like, it would drive, if that would have kept up for like 10 more minutes, I think you could use it as like, just to completely tear apart the fabric of society.
And she says, Dad, you're employing revisionist history. Like I said, she's a very bright girl.
Very bright girl.
MCI's Friends Around the World has been the lowest priced international call you can make to any one number to over 200 places around the world. Now MCI announces an extra 20% savings to 2 numbers. They'll be the lowest priced international calls you can make. Call MCI. Over the years, using us to call outside the country could save you hundreds upon hundreds of dollars.
One of the most important jobs that there is teaching kids, and I value what I do. Most of the teachers I know work very hard. I want a fair contract, one that shows that teachers are valued, one that attracts teachers to the New York City school system, because I think our kids deserve the best teachers that are out there. If the mayor of this city really cared about teachers and the kids that we serve, then we would get a contract, and we would get it now.
Tonight's business report brought to you by the Cadillac Tri-Statesmen of New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut.
That's kind of a neat
Wall
name.
Street is littered with the memories of investors
Wow,
who
who's
vote with
this?
their hearts instead of their heads. A prudent investor pays attention to fundamentals. It is those fundamentals that make leasing a 1993 Cadillac DeVille so attractive now.
Lease the special edition, only $449 a month, including $1,490 in options.
See your Cadillac Tri-Statesman.
1-800-COLLECT or Crystal Pepsi. No, I'm holding out for the BetterHelp.
For once, you can follow your heart and do right by your head.
$25,000 lottery tickets are being sold every minute in Florida. The jackpot is $86 million, but that is not a record. In fact, it ranks 6th in the nation's biggest lottery jackpots. But that did not stop one man,
Cody
dubbed the
Turbo.
Phantom, from buying 60,000 tickets. The drawing is tomorrow night. And a mixed day on Wall Street. The Dow Jones closed up almost 6 points, but losers edged out winners in heavy trading. A price share was down 13 cents on the big board, up 3 cents on the American. The Nasdaq
Statesman.
Composite closed down almost 5 points. However, this week, there were more smiles and frowns on Wall Street. That and more in tonight's Fox Business News Report.
This was a pretty good episode, I think, of the night today.
It's been a hectic week on Wall Street, but an up one. In the past 5 days, the Dow Jones Industrials have surged ahead almost 50 points.
I agree, Randy. I was a big Crystal Pepsi fan. In that IRL I did when I was in school, where I asked people what caused the fall of the Roman Empire, there was one where I wanted the guy to say it was lack of a transparent cola, clear cola, and he completely botched it.
Most analysts say the improving economy and falling interest rates are fueling the surge, and they are optimistic about the
Look at this tech, guys.
direction in which stocks
I
are
love
headed.
it.
I continue to think the
Oh,
market's
look at
going to
this guy.
stabilize and move to new highs.
Actually.
And I think that'll be enhanced by better corporate profits and lower interest rates.
Blockbuster
and
Entertainment is
Blockbuster.
on the rise. The company recently purchased Pieces of Spelling Entertainment, a TV production company,
Lethal Weapon poster up in the window.
and Republic Pictures, a feature filmmaker. The acquisitions are part of
What's up,
Blockbuster's
Ernie?
plan to create their own cable channel. Budweiser is set to brew its beer in the land of the rising sun.
Bud
The company
Dry.
has inked a deal with Kirin Beer to open a brewery in Asia. It is the first time an American beer company will actually make their beer in Japan. Normally, they just ship it there. Finally, the blizzard of the century has salt miners in Cleveland down in the dumps, literally. Since Saturday, they have been working nonstop, mining and shipping rock salt to cities all across the East Coast. The miners say they have not been this busy since 1970. And that's the Fox Business News for Friday, March 19th. Barney, the purple dinosaur, is a huge hit with children. But some parents have a bone to pick with the public TV stations that carry his show.
Uh-oh.
Many stations are offering toys based on Barney as an incentive to donate. One station on Long Island offers a Barney puppet for a $100 donation. Critics say they are targeting children for a hard
No.
sell. Still ahead, what would Friday be without Carl's Plays of the Week? Plus, let's be perfectly clear, the 90s are the see-through decade. Then we'll take you inside Eddie Murphy's wedding with...
Dude, the algorithm has blessed us. I feel like this is hitting this episode of the Nightly News has hit so many great relevant topics for us.
Exclusive photos.
What a treasure.
And Robin talks with Anna Nicole Smith, a young hot model who has taken the industry by storm.
A lot of salt in Cleveland right
We'll
by
stay
the
that
Brown
way for at
Stadium.
least a week.
Don't let Jerry Lawler hear you say that.
It is a special tribute to actress Helen Hayes, who died on Wednesday. The county normally only lowers the flags to honor public officials, but it's making an exception this time, of course. Hayes lived in Nyack and was known as the county's most famous resident. Still ahead, Robin talks with a hot new model for Guess Jeans, plus Phil's weekend forecast.
You may want to make a quick trip to Studio City, California. That is where Roseanne is holding a two-day garage sale. She is selling costumes from the show as well as her own clothing. All the proceeds will be used to fund programs for victims of sexual abuse. And now we welcome Phil's back from vacation. He's got a little tan, I noticed, from the slopes.
Right on the tip of the nose.
Just in
Is this going to be another guy doing blackface?
time for spring tomorrow morning.
Yep.
Hold on, this guy got a tan? Why is he's dressed like Bruce Wayne?
Arrives tomorrow morning, first day of spring. It's finally here. You would never, ever imagine it by today's weather. Only the mid-30s. Our normal high is 49 degrees by tomorrow. Our average high is 50. But it is true, tomorrow...
ATF Media is going to type, this guy feels very natural and comfortable on camera.
Tomorrow, spring begins, 9:41. That's when the sun appears directly above the equator. All winter long, it's been shining in the southern hemisphere. Slowly every day, the direct rays have been hitting a little bit farther north. And beginning tomorrow, the sun will start to hit, at least directly, in the northern hemisphere all the way through to the first day of summer. All right, let's talk about what we had today. We got up to only 34 degrees for a high temperature. That's after a very chilly start of 15. That's no record, though. Our record low is 8 degrees, set back in 1967. Right now, with mostly clear skies, a very chilly night. Again, probably not as cold as last night, but it's still only 27 degrees, humidity 66%, and we have an east wind at 6 miles per hour. Satellite view does show an area of clouds just to
I still want to watch a rodeo, but I talked myself out of it for right now.
west. It's beginning to move in here. I think we'll start to see the clouds really increase during the day tomorrow, but the sun will be able to shine through those clouds until tomorrow night. Not a major system, so even though we could see a rain or snow shower tomorrow evening into tomorrow night, I don't think we're going to see anything of any real significance. This just isn't a real powerhouse of a storm. Most of the energy with it, matter of fact, will head up into Canada and northern New England during the day tomorrow. This is the leading edge of some cooler air, and that's why we're expecting perhaps a rain or snow shower tomorrow night. Again, as I said, nothing heavy. Cooler air behind it, some thunder.
Hey, get cracked. Did you see that Grace said she would send the Hooplandia shoes?
Thunderstorms down here in Louisiana and eastern Texas, and that's just about it. Kind of a quiet setting. Temperatures tomorrow a little bit warmer than they were today.
Oh, totally. Like, that's the point of watching them. Is we would watch, like, I was going to watch this one from the 90s. It was like an hour and a half long, I think. But there are some, like, really funny, like, just like 10-minute ones we could watch at the end of a stream sometime of just like the people, the riders getting like thrown way high or like getting stomped on.
We'll get probably into the low to mid 40s. You'll have to get way upstate to see highs in the 30s, 50s, and 60s, though, holding to our south 50s as close to us as Atlantic City. All right, our forecast for the overnight period calls for generally clear skies, cold conditions.
That guy in the pit bull story, man, come on, dude. You bring the dog in, it's a bad decision. At least just own it. Like, making up a big story, that sucks. Like, he went and adopted the animal. I don't know. There's got to be more to that story.
Still, low temperature about 23, mid-teens once you get a little bit farther inland. During the day tomorrow, we'll have dim sunshine. We'll have the high thin clouds. The sun should be able to shine through those clouds with highs of 40 to 45. As we look ahead for the next 5 days, kind of a quiet weather pattern. Temperatures still averaging a little bit below average, but generally the 40s. Next chance of any significant precip probably coming about Wednesday. So overall, not a bad forecast coming up, Coran. We'll get to see a little bit of sun and temperatures getting back into the 40s. Cora?
Ah, spring, right, Phil?
It's here, finally here. Now we need some spring-like weather.
That's right. Thanks very much. Well, a new hot model is turning heads, and what a wedding last night at the Plaza Hotel. Eddie Murphy finally said I do in front of a lot of Hollywood biggies. Robin joins us now with some exclusive pictures, right, Robin? I think a lot of people just can't believe he did it.
I know, Mr.
Yeah, I'll go sometime this week, and I'm going to get my P.O. box reactivated so I can get a Lil Angels hat and the Hooplandia shoes.
And Mrs. Eddie Murphy takes some getting used to, but we can tell you they are now honeymooning at an undisclosed location. So you didn't get an invitation to the wedding, huh? How about an inside peek? Despite the massive security, A Current Affair managed to get exclusive video in...
Hidden camera footage of Eddie Murphy's wedding.
Inside the wedding ceremony in the grand ballroom of the Plaza Hotel. Here's how it looked as the bride and groom walked down the aisle with their baby daughter, Bria. We understand that the wedding cake stood 9 tiers tall, Eddie's favorite number 9, and the celebrities like Bill Murray and Bruce Willis partied until the wee hours.
Oh, wow.
Finally, this afternoon, Eddie and his new wife finally emerged from the Plaza Hotel. There they are.
Congratulations, Eddie. Everything to say for us?
Yeah, man. Very happy.
Yo.
Well, there you go.
True overall fitness includes 3 components: strength, endurance, and flexibility. Strength, that's what working out with weights is for. Endurance, well, that's cardiovascular, a strong heart and lungs that come from aerobic training. And then there's flexibility, and that's why you're here today. Now, I know you're probably saying, look, I hardly have any time as it is. And what little time I have, I'd rather spend working out and burning calories instead of stretching, right? I understand, I used to be that way. You know, push it, go for the burn. Probably you hurry a lot trying to get it all in.
Oh, yeah.
Well, one of the nice things about being older is that you gain a better perspective on things. You learn there's a middle way between the extremes. And that's what to aim for. Balance. Balance between action and relaxation.
Oh, this is so relaxing.
Contraction and release. Work and play. Allow yourself that balance. Stretching is good for you. It feels good. It brings another kind of energy into your life. It teaches you to breathe deeply and listen to your body. It also keeps your muscles and connective tissues flexible and less prone to injury. And it helps relieve soreness. Now, we do a stretch at the end of each weight workout and aerobics class, but they're bare minimum in order to keep the classes as short as possible. Today...
Should have put this at the end. Oh, of course I remember that when animals attack. Oh, yeah, great show.
I'm going to take you through a deep, total body stretch.
Woo! Wow, wow.
It's yours?
No,
My mother said she found it in your closet.
I don't know. One of the guys must
Must have what?
Look, Dad, it's
Where
not.
did you get it?
Dad,
Answer me. Who taught you how to do this stuff?
You, all right? I learned it by watching you.
Parents who use drugs have children who use drugs.
The whole world knows Rip the Crippler Oliver and the Assassin. Dutch Savage, you and everyone else knows the Assassin and myself are the tag team champions here in the Northwest. Well, the third member of the clan, the Sheik, is the Pacific Northwest heavyweight champion. Kurt Hennig, you come in here, boy, and you crippled up Buddy Rose. I give you a lot of credit. You're the first man that's ever done that. You put him out of commission for a while. He sent in a bounty man. You put him out. Now you're stepping in the Klan's territory, brother. You start messing with the Klan. You start trying to steal the Klan's belt down in Eugene, Oregon last night. You think you can take it from me, brother. You made a mistake. You laid it down. I got it back. It's staying in the Klan. It'll stay around the Sheik's waist. And Rip Oliver will stay here, and the Sheik and Assassin baby will remain the champion from now on. And that's all to it. And Buddy Rose will be back to get some more revenge on you too, buddy.
You can talk to me. It's okay.
Well, why don't you talk to Penelope? That's why we're here at this end.
He says he has fun with you, but he says he doesn't know what he wants to do. He gets confused. He doesn't want to retire.
No.
No.
Does he still want to show, do you think? That's what I'm trying to wonder.
Let me picture
Okay.
that for him. He's still a little nervous. Let me see if he'll
I'm looking
focus on
right.
it. Yeah, hold on. He says he starts it out with, I don't know, and he goes, I just don't like all those people looking at me. He has a hard time at the shows just with people looking at him. He doesn't mind working with
Crippled
you
up
alone,
Buddy Rose.
but actually he's quite shy.
I think that may be he's not a show-off, that's
Yeah,
for sure.
it's
No,
okay. It's all
I think our best stuff is when no one is peeking.
That's right.
This is, of course, telepathic communication with animals, full VHS from 1990.
Have you ever thought about going for a walk with your dog and suddenly he's next to you, eagerly wagging his tail? Or have you ever had the feeling that something wasn't right in the next room and discovered that your animal friend was locked in there or having some other problem? These experiences suggest that on a mental or telepathic level, both you and your animal companions can send and receive messages. Penelope Smith has spent much of her life refining her ability to communicate with animals telepathically. Since 1977, Penelope has worked professionally as an animal communication specialist, helping people discover why they are having problems with their animal friends. She tunes in to what the animals are thinking or feeling and tells the owners so that they can find a solution to the problem. Penelope was asked to help this woman and her dog Trapper. He is extremely sensitive to raised voices, will not allow anyone to pick him up, and has several health problems that are being treated with drugs.
What an absolute shaming of this poor animal. This dog is a drug addict.
When he first came to you, he was really afraid that he would not please you. And he still, believe it or not, even after all these years, he has a feeling like something could go wrong. He has a worry. And the raising your voice, when I pictured you just getting excited or angry or raising your voice, he says, I just can't deal with it. He says, I might be doing something wrong. He internalizes it. He takes it in. And I think that's part of his allergy thing, too, is feeling like he may not, even after all these years, it's emotional. Huh?
I don't know why.
You understand? Yeah. Okay. Even after all these years, he feels like for some reason he might not measure up.
This lady, what is going on here? Is she having like an emotional breakthrough already?
Even though he feels very much like he is a good dog and he gets a lot of reassurance in the family, he's got this little niggling thing behind him.
Little what?
Interesting. He says that he was thrown out of the back of a truck.
What? The dog told her that he was thrown out of the back of a truck?
And he shows me a picture of it's a pickup truck, open. He jumps in, he's thrown out. He jumps back in, he's thrown out. I don't get a good picture of the person, but it sounds like a man's voice. I just see this truck and then I see somebody's arms. It looks like he was quite attached to somebody before you got him. And that was quite a disappointment for him. I mean, he was meant to be somebody's really loyal dog, which he is, of course, now. But he's never forgotten that, And evidently he was a little bit hurt, too, by somebody, physically hurt by somebody throwing him. Not badly, but it looks like, he yelped. So then when you pick him up, that both reminds him of that. And I think physically he has that.
Oh, this is like, see, my dog, that's the real story of my dog, is that whoever had him before me had abused him, and then they threatened to like let him loose if the shelter wouldn't take him in. And he's like, if you look at him, he's like the tiniest little guy, and like imagine somebody being mean to him, I just can't imagine it. So I feel bad for this little dog now that he's communicated telepathically his trauma history.
Some bashing around. He says, I like you. You're very sweet. He says he feels a lot better. Just having talked about it. That's good. That's good. Will you keep improving? Okay.
Thank you.
In my particular case, there was a behavioral problem.
I fucking love the pixelated dissolves. Oh my god.
With one of my horses.
Look at the great, look at the little, the little things around her. I really like those, how it shines that light down.
That she completely solved in one visit. And there was a drastic behavior change. So if I had any doubt at all on her ability, it completely disappeared with her very first visit. And it was sort of like a therapy session. I asked Penelope a simple question, and right away, my mare had this all of this frustration to release, all this tension to release. So what she did was to turn our relationship around. Mimir is now the most affectionate animal you
I would love to get updates on these people.
could imagine. She runs to the gate when I come. We have a very close relationship. She follows me everywhere.
By Ruby SpaceX standards, yes, she definitely has 2 black eyes.
She's very relaxed. And if there is a problem, I know exactly how to deal with it.
So after we'd gone around and seen the llamas, we went back into the house, and she did a reading on one of our dogs, Cider, and spoke of Cider's adventures in other dimensions than this everyday life.
What?
And then she turned her attention to Teddy, who immediately...
Okay, so one of her animals was having interdimensional journeys. That's interesting.
He began to have a kind of a seizure. He started shaking, and his eyes glazed over, and it seemed as though he wasn't seeing anything. And he had trouble walking. He fell down, actually. This is Teddy. Hi, Teddy, I'm talking about you. Yeah. And we had never seen him have any sort of a seizure before that. And she immediately,
This dog is like, can you believe this bullshit?
withdrew her attention from him and had Kelly just hold him. And within about 5 minutes, the episode passed.
The whole time I was just thinking, please let that dog slowly look over and make eye contact with the camera. Perfect.
And in the meantime, Penelope and I went off into the other room and did a reading on one of the cats. And then when we came back out, Penelope very gently sort of touched her mind to Teddy's. And he told her he just wanted to be a dog. All the stuff she'd been saying about Cider having other dimensions, that scared him. He didn't want anything.
Based, I think he's true. I think this is accurate. He heard all the bullshit that the lady was talking about, and he was like, "Nah, cut that. I'm just a dog, bro. I'm just a dog."
To do with that, he was just here to love and be loved, and it was very simple.
Penelope is in such demand that she cannot travel to work with everybody who
Okay, so she's doing so well at this, she has to turn people down. It's just nonsense. Send one of your friends to do it.
requests her service. So now she consults with people by phone and tunes into their
Over the
animals at a
fucking
distance. All she needs to know is the
Telepathy, the original work from home.
animal's name and some basic information, and she can make a telepathic connection, provided the animal and its owner are willing.
We had a young stallion, beautiful young Arabian stallion in training, and he wasn't doing very well. So I decided to have an appointment with Penelope, and she talked to him, although he was 300 miles away. And I was totally blown away.
It's interesting to me that Penelope can do her work by telephone. I mean, she needs the telephone to communicate with the person, or at least the person needs it to communicate with her. But I have called her on several occasions and asked her a question about an animal, and she'll say, "Just a minute, let me ask the animal." And then she's quiet for a moment, and then she...
We watch a lot of stuff where I'm like, how is this, can this be real? But like, that this is happening is wild. But that it's happening and she's having this much success is like another level. And then the fact that that they made this video cassette is even like crazier.
comes right back with information which has time and again shown itself to be
My stallion.
The distance
Oh,
does
here
not
we
make
go.
any difference as far as reception goes. What makes a difference is whether the person who is calling me is very open and not putting up any blocks, or if they're resistive. If they're worrying about...
What I find to reduce, conflict with a customer is, are they willing to believe anything I say without hesitation, or are they going to ask questions? If they're going to be problematic, then they're probably not going to get their communication from their animal friend.
what I'm going to find out from the animal, or if they're testing and skeptical, that
Jamie McGonigal, didn't you recommend to me South to West some like Christian hypnotist people? I didn't look them up, but I think they've come up organically now in my algorithm. Like a mother and a daughter that do like weird Christian hypnotism.
puts up almost like a fuzzy screen. It puts up like static on the radio. So you have a hard time hearing the animal. You have a hard time getting past their static to get to the animal. But if they're very open and they just say, what does my dog think about this? Or where does he hurt?
Man, this
boom,
sucks.
I can get right through.
This horse trainer tells about an experience with
boy.
his favorite horse.
And then mysteriously she came up lame. And so I had just inching lame, couldn't walk and could only make baby steps and couldn't lift her head down to eat. And so I had her obviously looked at by, which turned out to be 3 Western medicine vets, and they all could not
3 Western medicine vets.
diagnose what her problem was, and suggested that I take her to Davis, which is the university hospital, and have her looked at and examined up there. So I took her up there, and I left there after 8 to 10 hours of constant examination. And
well, yeah, they've come up organically now, so the universe is more or less given the South to West approval on the algorithm and pushed your Christian hypnotists onto the menu.
Neither could tell me what was wrong with the horse, but suggested that I put her to sleep. So I came home and I was very upset about having been told I had to put my favorite horse to sleep. And so I was talking to a friend, and she suggested that I call Penelope, who was my first experience with the animal psychic world in them. So I called her, and she said, did her work over the telephone, and said there's no way that this horse needed to be put to sleep, that she was just had some massive vertebrae displacement both in her upper spine and in her lower back, and suggested that I have this Dr. Bob Anderson from Oregon, who she recommended, who's a chiropractor and acupuncturist, to work on the horse. And ended up being the best way to get the work done was to have Penelope there also, so Penelope could sort of intervene in the communication.
What? Like, obviously, I think it's going to turn out that the horse is still alive and that she was right, but she needed to be there. By the way, I'm just saying the Batman shirt, that's where it's at, for sure. That's a good vibe shirt.
And saying, back off. You're doing too much. And this had been stuff that Subretta had carried around for 10 years. She had her
he says he needs you. He says I'm underpaid.
It turned out that the story she told was they put her through the racetrack training, and she just fought and kicked the whole way because she was mortified that they had separated her from her soulmate, as she described it. And then I guess went into the chute of the racetrack and reared up and trashed around in the chute, and that's when she injured herself. But it took many months of just Penelope teaching me on how to communicate with Subretta and to look at her from her point of view. It's like now I called her first before I called the vet because of the expense for me, because
yeah, the Batman shirt was awesome.
I have so many horses. It's cheaper for me to call Penelope than for me to call the veterinarian. And she's yet to, there's only been one inaccuracy that she's ever called for me on that.
Plus, he kind of does like this, like the country club guy, like nose in the air, nasally talking. I don't like this guy at all.
It was my last year's fall. I had
this guy would ask me to leave the country club.
Dreamt about having my black boy. And she described it down to the black with 3 white socks and the white blaze, but she was a filly.
I used to sit in the park, in the playground, in the bushes, and talk to the birds and say, please come to me. I used to picture myself as St. Francis. Because
background normie.
St. Francis was,
I think,
a model of mine. And I used to say, little birdies, please come to me. And I close my eyes. I'll close my eyes, come to my hand. And I had birds who came very close and butterflies who landed on my hands. And it was the biggest thrill. To me, to have a wild animal trust you is, as you know, is just melt your heart. So besides having the ability to listen to animals and to be quiet with them and to get their viewpoints from when I was very young, I enhanced the ability by my counselor training, which trained me to really open up, be receptive, and understand what people were saying. So what I do is simply open up and listen and get real quiet, which is real natural, again, for me in communication, is to just get real quiet.
This dog looks like it would have like a psychologist, an acupuncturist, and a chiropractor.
I don't go into any trance state.
Oh, look at this guy.
I don't spend minutes or hours preparing ahead of time. something that I can, because of my practice in it, simply be right now here for the animal and listen. The reason that I know that it's not just my imagination is the result. Over and over again, it's thousands and thousands of animals I've communicated with. They demonstrate
Wow,
the
what a neat
changes.
cat.
When I talk with them about upsets they have, problems, things that are confusing to them, why they're behaving the way they are, they change. Behavior changes, they relax. Many times it's drastic, the changes in them that could happen for no other reason than that they understood, they were understood by me, and that we worked out a solution.
Within the
Oh my
first
God, I
month
love
that we had her, she
the
killed 4
dissolves.
chickens. My husband
Yeah, I think that's where this one got recommended to me. That's like the channel it came up on.
became very upset and said that we had to get rid of her. And I became very distressed and reluctant to let go of her. But I finally called the vet and I said, you know, I just don't know if this is going to work because of what's happening. And he said, well, before you get rid of her, call Penelope Smith, because I've referred her to a number of my clients to deal with animal problems, and she's been wonderful. So I called Penelope Smith, and she described exactly what Frenchie's state of mind was at the time.
Frenchie.
And that was that she had come from a very calm house where she was actually basically neglected. There just wasn't enough time to pay attention to her. She was well fed and not mistreated, but neglected. And she went from that into this situation of 4 acres, endless animals, numbers of people around all the time. And she felt like she was in a circus. And she was just more excitement than she knew what to do.
I mean, there is zero doubt with the way this woman speaks. She is just saying this as if it is like biblical truth, like nuts, absolutely nuts.
Do with. And when she killed the chickens, it wasn't for the kill, you know, it wasn't for the meat. It was really for the sport of it. And so she told me how to instruct her on the leash to be the guardian
Oh
of
my
the chickens.
God.
And, you know, to be their caretaker. And I guess I did that for about 4 or 5 days. And then we kept our eye
Murderer.
on her for a long time after that when she was around the chickens.
Don't
She
even
hasn't
think
shown
about
any
it,
aggressiveness
Frenchie.
toward the chicken in I would say, a year. She'll now go up and try to smell them.
Yeah, well, they're like, you know, my relationship was falling apart, but then I talked to Dr. Umbumbe, and they helped me get my relationship back on track.
The first time I called her, last January, she said he was brilliant and can reason. And she was...
Okay, absolutely everything about this is Kino. This could be the segment from this video. Look at this hostage room.
right on. Right on. I mean, and the normal thing to say is, well, the second one's brilliant. And she didn't. I mean, he's not. I mean, he's a little cutie, but and so what I'm saying is that the specific stuff was just incredible. She's just incredible.
At one point I asked her, what was his favorite place? She described it perfectly. She described it perfectly. She didn't know where he was. She'd never been there before, of course. But she asked him. He described it. She described it to me.
As soon as she saw the animals, she started talking. She got so much
Doggy
about
hostile.
them. And the thing that struck me and my husband immediately was that she was picking up on things we knew. So that gave us a real basis for trust of what she said when she made comments that were outside of our experience.
What?
One of the truest signs, at least for me, that you're really getting their communication is it's not what you expect. You get surprised. It's really not.
About 5 years ago, when she was around 17 years old, she pretty much gave up living and started hiding, was under...
Notice my overstuffed roll top desk. I'm very busy. My cat is depressed.
underneath the bed a lot. I thought this was the end, But the interesting thing about what went on with her was when she talked to Boogie about why she, was thinking about leaving, it was, well, it's like I'm told cats aren't supposed to live this long, you know, and was like, well, where did you get that idea? You know, and well, she got this picture of this particular tall guy. Now, this was one of my students who had been over to the house, and when she told me this, what she was getting, I remembered the whole incident when I had, you know, given him Boogie's age, and he had kind of said, "What? Cats aren't supposed to live that long," you know, in exactly those words. And I remember those words.
Oh
and these were the
my God. So somebody said something rude to her cat. And so, oh my God, I'm literally losing my mind, I think, at this point.
words that Boogie remembered. You remember this incident, Boogie? Yeah, you sure do.
Due for another struggle session? I don't know. I'd have to get completely caught up. I've gone through like sections of the recent streams and the kick streams, but I need to like it's hard for me to tell. I haven't seen a lot of Grace and Ben interaction on the stuff that I've been watching. Like most of the A-logging I watched was pretty much Grace by herself, I think. And same with like the other content, Ben was always in the chair.
Well, that was handled. It was like, well, you know, you can live longer than that and whatever. And just within, well, the next day, I mean, she was up and around already, you know, and she'd been hiding for a week, not coming out hardly to eat. And the sore was getting worse and worse. The sore went away. Within a week, their hair was back, you know, but the sore was healed, and she was who she is.
Telepathic communication is when you receive it, you can get both visual, mental images from the animal, like when you ask an animal what happened. Say a horse has hurt themselves the night before and they have a big gash in their leg and nobody knows how it happened. So I ask them, well, what happened? They will show me a series of pictures, mental pictures of what happened. So they'll show me getting their leg caught in the fence and pulling and it tearing. And that will come in mental pictures. Along with that will usually come their emotions, their feelings about it, their pain, their anxiety. Also, what can come across is
I would like to interact with them, especially if they really are this like just completely bought into it. I think I could have some fun conversations with them.
a message, sense of audio, of hearing.
Toward the end of the stream last night, things got kind of interesting. Was it like maybe a couple streams ago, whenever there was some kind of like, was it Grace was almost spilling the piss jug or something was almost getting spilled, and like her and Ben kept getting into it over it?
What they say. I feel that I instantly translate into words and I get the message with words. Sometimes they do actually give you phrases because they learn words from hearing them from.
You think that I should call in to Thorpe TV like for the first time in like 9 months or something, and that I should use that opportunity to give Grace advice? Joe, come on, buddy.
People over and over again, but most of the time it's a translation into words of a concept. So you get a concept, an idea of what they're saying.
Mark Dictatorship Fusion.
Which then to tell other people.
What's up, Rush Limbaugh's burner account?
Also, you can get feelings in your own body of how they feel, or feelings in their body. Tuning into their body, you can feel their pain, or you can feel where the energy feels like it's hot, or it's about to burst, or it's blocked. And I get all the senses combined, so that to translate it into words sometimes takes a long time, even though it was sort of a instantaneous perception.
Let's dispel that rumor immediately. Grace Thorpe does not look to me for guidance. Absolutely not.
My horse all of a sudden seemed to give up on life. And she had been losing weight, and my son had been feeding her because at the time my back was hurting, so he was kind of taking over, going down and putting hay over the fence. And within a 2-week period of time, she had gone from this full...
Okay, so Ben's anti-fish tank and just wants to go about Becky. Is Becky really reliable, though? Like, I know she said some things, but I mean, you never know what's what's kayfabe in the lolcow universe or whatever. But like, is she really like, would she actually work with Grace in good faith, period? But let alone if that means like burning whatever clout she has left with Keemstar?
Meaty, shiny, lovely mirror to this thin, frail, weak horse.
Fish Tank would probably not make Grace any more famous or anything like that, but it would be very entertaining, harrowing content probably.
That could barely get around. And I was so stunned when I had finally recovered from my back injury and gotten down there to see her that it just tore me apart. And I immediately called Penelope. She's my lifeline when it comes to the animals. And I asked her what was going on with Buck, and she said, well, Linda, you have been so negative, and it's affected her in such a way that she feels if she were gone.
I'll go on Becky's show and do a and help her better understand the Thorpes.
And life would be easier for you. Which, oh my gosh, I mean, that revelation just completely, it was like being punched in the stomach. So I immediately went down to the barn and had a talk with her and told her life would not be better without her, that life would be worse without her. She's been with me for 21 years. And
you think I'm the reason I got to Ben with my anti-fish tank rhetoric?
And it came down to the backhoe coming out to dig the hole.
I don't know. That's what I was thinking, JF. That's why I've always thought she'd probably have to go in as like a freeloader, which is probably would be better for content and for her anyway. But I think you are right as far as being a contestant, at least last time I knew. But maybe after everything kind of went nuts last time, maybe they've changed. I'm not sure how they're doing the new season.
The veterinarian coming out.
It could also be are we sure that it's Fish Tank season 4 and it's not like Fish Tank season 3.5 or something like that?
Put her down, and my friends coming out to support me through the process. But because of the phone call,
all the benefits of a sociopath with none of the downside, essentially.
To Penelope, I called everyone and canceled, and she and I started over again with dealing with this negativity that I was putting out. And she's still here. She's beautiful. She's healthy.
Penelope says that most of us can develop the innate ability we have to send and receive messages from all life forms. Oh my
God, what is this?
In order to facilitate this, she has conducted numerous workshops with people and their animal companions to gently guide them in this process.
All kids telepathically communicate with each other, with their parents. Not everybody receives it. The animals do. So they gravitate toward animals. You notice kids, given a choice, will go to another animal, a different animal than a human animal. They gravitate to them because the telepathic communication is in there's no barriers there. So you see a lot of kids are like this, but they quickly lose it because humans are social animals and enjoy the approval of their peers. So quickly, kids learn that in order to get mother's approval, aunt's approval, their peers' approval, they better toe the line. And the line has been in this society that telepathic communication is for flakes, and witches or something. And that it doesn't exist, and animals are stupid. Their brains are this small, and they don't think, they don't feel. I mean, you hear people saying this. So basically, my approach to animals and why I am very successful with helping to handle problems is I regard them as who they are, fellow spirits with different costumes and therefore different experiences. A cat is a cat, a dog is a dog, a human is a human, but and so that all colors all our experience. But basically, we're all spirits, and we can all learn from each other, and we all have infinite capacity to understand. And on the most basic inside heart-to-heart things, we're all the same.
One of the ways that Penelope helps people tune into animals is through a meditation that has them actually become an animal.
Okay, this is fascinating to me.
And now
they kind of hinted toward it earlier, it seemed like, and now I think we're going to finally see like what this process is like.
Choose an animal or let an animal come to you. Feel
I choose spirit of seal.
their presence or visualize them. Whatever animal appears to
chill.
you, imagine it clearly and notice its physical features. Sense its mental and spiritual qualities. Now, as you feel yourself getting
I'm imagining that I'm one of those like little lizards that runs on its back legs and it has like the big like thing that comes off of its head while it's running.
closer to the animal, make a shift and get inside the animal's viewpoint. See things through its eyes. Notice how the body and the body parts feel. Your legs or fins or wings. Your head, skin, fur. Now move around in your animal form. Notice how you move. Notice how it feels.
I was in the desert for a second there.
Smell. See. Hear. Touch. Taste. And think as that animal. Express emotions through your animal body, like sadness, fear, anger, boredom, joy.
I had another experience when we got this little gosling.
Wow, that was pretty intense.
About 8 months ago, 6 or 8 months ago. And she was terrified of everyone. My husband brought her home and put her in a cage, and she was really terrified. And I walked into the cage and realized that she wasn't going to respond very well the way I was approaching her. And so I shifted my thinking process, and I connected with, it's hard to describe how you do that. Penelope, I'm sure, can describe it much better. But I shifted my own consciousness to connect with her consciousness. And she instantly relaxed.
Yeah, I mean, pretty significant portions of this are almost like accidental ASMR if you don't pay attention to what they're saying.
Because the message that I was giving her was that I was not there to threaten her, I was there to help her.
They really stink.
And she bonded to me within a...
Well, we saw that one guy try to molest a manatee on a intoxicated women's stream.
matter of minutes. And
He's the only man to ever have a featured, like a video that was just a guy getting arrested, was the guy molesting the manatee.
If I would sit down on the floor, she would come over and get on my lap. She followed me around for a week thinking that I was her mother. It was great fun, as a matter of fact.
People find it hard in this culture to get quiet in their minds. I find that the people who have the best results in workshops in learning how to telepathically communicate are those who have been meditators, who have had some kind of spiritual practice where they have observed and themselves and their own thinking and learned how to let it all go.
Look at this combo, man. Look at this. First of all, what is this? Just horrific sweater, and then you've got the green underneath of it. That is fantastic. That is a look.
Oh, and be real quiet. To do this well, you have to kind of go open. Just open your perceptions, get real quiet, and just be here. I found that in workshops, when people start to open up, a lot of times they get messages from all over the place. They start to get names, addresses, music, all kinds of things coming in because they're starting to be receptive. And what you need to do is to focus on the being that you want to get the communication.
I felt myself being drawn to New Haven for a moment during that last meditation.
From
just yesterday, as a matter of fact, I pulled into a parking lot. And I pulled in next to an open car. It was a convertible.
I didn't know that, but it makes sense.
The driver was sitting behind the driver's wheel, looking off in another direction, distracted, waiting for someone maybe. And there was a dog in the passenger seat. And the dog sort of jumped up on the side of the car and looked at me, and I sat in the van for about 10 minutes, just looking at the dog and trying to make contact. I can definitely make contact now. I know when that happens. Trying to say hello to the dog, and told the dog I was going to get out of the car. and maybe come over and say hi again. So I finally did. Get out of the car. I went over. I reached out, touched the dog. I was scratching the dog behind the ears. And the owner hadn't noticed yet. I reached over and got very close to the dog and finally started talking to her. The owner turned around. She was shocked and she said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I was just saying hi to the dog." She said the dog has never let anybody come up to the car before. Never. I was astounded. I wanted to say, well, we've been...
Again, I really like the light from the little thing in the tree that's shining those two things down. It really makes it seem like it makes her seem like extra crazy to me for some reason.
Talking for the last 10 minutes, but of course I didn't. There are things like that that happen on a fairly regular basis.
Kurt Hennig here.
Some people are distracted from focusing on mental impressions by outward appearances.
Just because I feel like he's not really realizing what's going on, but I'm not sure, but he's just nervous. And that was about it.
You'd be surprised what's going on.
Oh. Probably.
See, a lot of things you judge by outer actions.
Right.
Just like you cannot really judge.
I gotta be honest, I really don't feel like the people we've seen in these would be cool people to hang out with, if I'm being honest.
People. You know, I mean, you can go on and on about body language, but just because I fold my arms like this, you know what
Oh, look at this outfit here. Oh, spectacular. Absolutely spectacular.
that's supposed to mean. No. It doesn't necessarily mean that. And dogs can do all kinds of things too that aren't necessarily the whole picture. It's not an analysis. You're not going, I'm going to figure this dog out. It's an opening to them. And a lot of times people get very fooled by the outward appearance.
True.
And plus they have their own judgments about the outward appearance. They go, well, this kind of dog, oh, scary. You know, so that stops it. So you have to really be open and start getting those impressions from them. And start getting inside a little bit more.
You want to see her have a sit-down conversation with a silverback?
And beyond the physical. This is beyond the physical. People, again, have the idea from all the body things that here's a nervous, frenetic dog who's
How many
upset.
colors does she have?
The guy
of
is
that?
not upset. He's not nervous. He's not frenetic. He is an active guy. Definitely has an active body. This is one smart, one very quick guy. And so we just sat together now. Just being together. And he said, you know, they just...
Man, imagine being in a world where this kind of stuff was something that was so important. You had so few other cares that you could like really focus up on communicating telepathically with your animal.
Don't know. I'm very quick. I want to go places. I want to do things. I'm here to experience the world. And was the concept he gave me. And again, he gave me the feeling he wants you to go places. He wants
She fucks.
you to experience things, but with him. He's here to take you around.
You know, if the horse has its head straight up in the air,
Oh, no.
you can see it just really holding. You know, I can see it. You know, I've almost gotten to the point now, which I feel almost funny about saying, is I can feel their pain. You know, I can feel the horse going through the pain. You know? And then I, you know, through working with Penelope, I guess go into my ability and I get these messages of what to do.
One day I was feeding my horses and I heard all of these little voices in my heart crying for help. And I thought, where's that coming from? So I went exploring and I came across our little pond. Well, the pond...
Hey, Ruby, she does have... I could see you wearing some of the clothes from the video Telepathic Communication with Animals.
had completely dried up and there were about 500 goldfish
Lori
laying in a mud
Metcalf,
puddle,
yeah.
gasping for air. And they had sent out the message that they needed help,
And Trailer Park Vanna White.
which I intercepted and therefore took on the task of the whole day of rescuing everyone.
She got a teepee behind her.
One of these tiny little goldfish and taking them up to the house, and then I proceeded to distribute them to people who wanted fish, but at least they all survived.
Are animals always willing to communicate telepathically?
There are occasionally animals who do not wish to communicate. Animals who have
No.
been severely abused finally give up on people. They go, you're another person. I don't care who you are. Go away. I just want to die. And that has happened to me a few times.
The Ben Thorpe approach.
Oftentimes I will just tell them, okay, I'm not here to do anything to you. I really appreciate and respect. I will go away. And when you start to go away, a lot of times they will go, wait, you're different, you're kind, you can hear me, I do want to talk to you, but don't force me to do anything. Other times there will be animals who are angry, dominating, manipulate their people, and do.
This lady, so some people are victims of their dogs being too dominant or too, what was the other thing she said?
Not want anybody changing that. They don't want anybody getting in on their game. It's usually animals who themselves have been manipulated and dominated. They turn it around and they start to dominate and manipulate people. And they do not want somebody coming in who knows exactly what they're doing. And so,
Luckily, though, she can fix them.
sometimes they will actually, it's only been a few cases, but I remember them very well, who actually get violent towards you and go.
Don't be fooled by the trad girl exterior. We have to remember what D-Dog told us. Beautiful on the outside, demonic on the inside.
Get out of here or I'm going to go after you. Most
Get out of here. That's what that pit bull told that guy earlier.
animals are joyful and open and relieved to communicate. When you get an animal's attention, even if they're sleeping, they can communicate. In fact, I find, especially with young animals, with puppies or kittens, who are very into and distracted by every little thing that goes around them because they're learning about their environment with their new bodies. When they're sleeping, it's very easy to get right to them as spiritual beings.
Penelope was really able to tell me what the animal's intent was.
I like
and
this vibe
what
here.
to
Taylor
do in
Swift.
this very confusing situation. I had two dogs. And after
Those are some beautiful calla lilies, I think, aren't they? I like this Taylor Swift, but like witchier vibe.
speaking to her, what was happening in the household made sense. And she informed me that the two animals were totally opposite in personality and
Oh
disposition.
no.
That there was no way, really, that they were ever going to get along. And if they were kept together, it would be dangerous, which it had already been because one of them had injured me. And she was able to tell me that one animal, which is the one I have now,
What does that mean? Am I a spiritual animal in the bed? What is that? What's a spirit? How does a spiritual animal function in that scenario?
is so close and in tune with me that if I were to give him away or find a new home, he would die. He would not be able to handle the separation.
Sugar glider would be a great one if you're trying to do the like visualization exercise, because you could imagine like real slow, like floating through the air on like the glider.
And the other one had such a light and happy type disposition that he would do well and find for himself people that would be good for him.
Yes, it's me. Ruby Space Egg is a high IQ streamer, and she's friends with Fernando.
Yeah.
Penelope has just introduced some new chickens to her flock and wants to find out how they are doing.
She says she likes it here. It's very different and it's fun. I'm glad to see that they're all happy. Nobody's worried about anything, and there's a sense of exploration and curiosity. Again, I'm translating their concepts into words. They're not speaking English. They're just thinking ideas,
English.
and I'm translating them into words. They talk to each other, but it's more on a very, just a very energetic understanding, like a feeling of each other, and then they'll greet each other, and they will tell each other things like, I just found some
57. That lady was in her 20s. Are you shitting me?
nice bugs over here if you're a chicken, or
Wow, that really.
come over here and sit down with me.
That really
They'll
hit.
call each other, and then
This
they'll
is
sit
good
down, and then
shit.
they just share each other. They don't
I'm smoking gas Nana.
think while they're with each other, so they don't hold intellectual conversations generally. Although they're capable of that, it does not seem to go with the being, where with humankind, a lot of times there is a desire to analyze. I do think that we are the most analyzing creatures. Although other creatures definitely analyze for their survival, for their enhancement of what they need to do. They're pushed to analyze, but not to the extent of about ideas that people do. When
He
I
seems to be really critically analyzing the best way to eat that food for sure, lady.
start to get people to read to their animals,
I would get upset with this lady if she like kept going with this shit in an interview.
to include them in their love of poetry or art, the animals start to extend into that. They go, well, my human likes it. Oh, I like it too. I see what you're looking at. I see why you like
Well, if she's only 57 now, I mean, that's only 12 years older than me.
that room the way it is. But basic to all of us is an
Clucking in
appreciation,
German.
I think,
Don't
of
say that in front of
emotions
Get Crack for me.
and also the higher truths of life: love, honor, respect. A lot of times people ask me, what are they thinking? I go, nothing. And they don't understand that. How can they not be thinking something? And it's really just being. It's sort of like a meditative state of just being there with the environment, being quiet, fully experiencing. Just experiencing. Like, okay, what is he saying with this crow? What he said was, I'm here. I'm here. It's an announcement. Also, there was a sense of relief. When he crowed, there was a sense of, I'm here. Things are good.
So nothing from Healthy Family Force still today. So that means we're over 3 days now, which is really wild for Healthy Family Force, I feel like.
I'm fine. But again, it's not an intellectualization of verbiage. It's a feeling. I'm here. I'm here.
I'm here.
And the other one, I'm here too.
You know how exasperating it is when you're driving down the road, the windows are closed, there's a fly, it's constantly flying into your face. And here I was with Penelope in the other seat. I was driving down the road, batting at this fly mindlessly, trying to get it out of my face, wishing the thing would just disappear, die. And all of a sudden, Penelope looked over, she took her hand, she cupped it.
Yeah, I mean, there's always infighting for sure. I don't know if you were in here when I talked about it, Anand, but they posted a video like that they were going to premiere, and it was Joy like looking really angry, and it said, I asked Joy to respect Gloria more, and this is what she did, but the premiere was canceled way before it happened. But yeah, Joy's coming back from New York, so maybe there's like some tensions, or I don't really know. It's hard to say, but 3 days with no content is really unusual for them.
And she said, here, let me show you the way out. She rolled down the window. The fly stayed right here in the cup of her hand, and she just moved it over towards the window. I was so embarrassed because suddenly I realized, that this was part of it. This little fly was part of the whole that I was supposed to be aware of.
They love it when you go home and start opening up to them. They just love it. They'll change their attitude, their behavior, their postures, everything. Even like people have brought up different examples of the consultations. Why?
Pray for the
did that
Jedi.
change? Well, we connected. They connected with somebody who listened to them and related to their person who matters to them. And they go, oh, relief, great. They understand my pain, and now I can release the pain. And, they understand I feel this way, and great, now I can change. Now it feels good. Psychosomatic illnesses are common in animals, especially in domesticated animals.
Okay, the horse is telling me that he's laying down. He would like to lie down. He's not interested in standing up right now. Could you please relay that to your coworker?
Who often are subject to the same stresses that people are, and are subject to the stresses from their people, that then precipitate illness. They'll get upset about changes in their environment, people coming and going, people being upset with each other, people having fights with each other, and the animal will come down with an illness.
This seems like a lot of work to shouldn't they have just opened up the gate?
Which is precipitated by stress of emotion. And if you can help the animal to release and look at and then talk about and release the emotion, and then also help to change the environment that's causing the stress, you can help to heal the illness. when you have that special connection and you really connect with them as spirits and you know who they are,
It looks like it's got war paint on now.
they know who you are. There's nothing like it. There is nothing like it.
My heart hears the animals almost like they're on a loudspeaker,
True.
and there's nothing I can do to avoid it. I'll be walking along and I'll hear some animal saying, I need water, or I'm hungry, or I hurt. And it isn't that I hear through my ears, it's that I hear through my heart. So I take action on that. We learn
Oh
from our
boy.
animals, or we can learn if we're open to that. And Travis is really a teacher to me in many, many ways. He reflects many times what I'm going through. And sometimes when Penelope talks to me about why Travis is moody, she's really talking to me too. She doesn't say that, but I know, I can tell.
One of my favorite
They didn't want to relay the conversation that David Berkowitz had with the dog so that they could keep the VHS cassette rated PG.
cats, who's quite an old lady now and spends most of her time asleep in the bedroom. She said that when I take naps,
Hey, Tom
Mia,
Space, what's up?
particularly, or sometimes at night, but particularly when I take naps,
Look at them
Mia,
eyeballs.
the cat, feeds me ideas.
Wow.
And I can't say that I've experienced that. That one was one that stretched
I mean, great cat footage in this movie, if nothing else.
my sense of reality. But I have to admit that I've given Nia a little bit more respect since then, and I talk to her and relate to her in a different way. And I think that's a lot of what's important to me in Penelope's work, is that she has expanded my sense of who these beings are, these dogs and cats and whatever.
I just very much
Who is
appreciate
this
that there's
bird?
someone like Penelope out there who's specializing in this field.
We went from who is Ben Thorpe to who is this bird?
I think that at this point in time in our own evolution of the
Make sure you get a nice tight shot of this lady.
planet, where we've been decimating the environment, including the animal populations in the environment, that she's really important in raising people's consciousness about the value of those beings, and raising people's consciousness to the fact that we can communicate with them. They're not just some foreign object out there that that we can do anything we like with, but they do have a real important part in the whole scheme of things, and that we can talk with them.
She's my hero because she's changed things for me on several different levels. Of course, the
Wow,
individual
several
problems
levels.
with my mare that she's solved have made my life easier and our relationships closer. But she's also done something on a broader level. I grew up loving animals, wanting to be near them, wanting to understand them, and feeling sort of responsible for every living thing on the earth. I've always felt that we're responsible for each other and that everything was part of a whole. And I felt that there ought to be some communication with animals. But there's always been that gap there, that language gap, and that misunderstanding of their intelligence and their awareness. And there was always some doubt in my mind as to how we could pull everything together. And it only took one visit from her to completely eliminate that gap.
A NASCAR driver?
Many animals will respond incredibly to music, to art. In fact, people are finally catching up to what animals have been doing for years. Elephants have been creating art with
The elephant is asking, why am I in Cincinnati, Ohio?
their trunks. They have very fast little trunks like our hands, and they can actually
He
create
looks
designs
terrible.
and drawings, which people are now
Oh my
recognizing,
God.
and they've been doing it for thousands of years. Whales sing and do complicated songs. Dolphins also communicate in a way that people are just beginning to understand. Bees dance. They have incredible harmonies, rhythms, sharing of aesthetics. Not necessarily the exact same way that we express it. They express it their own ways, but it's still beautiful, and they understand beauty, and they understand truth, and they understand companionship and love, and all the things that we regard as real basic, and when you come right down to it, are the real fundamentals of life. I don't feel that any being is complete without awareness and connection with other beings.
True.
On this planet are all kinds of beings, animals, plants, minerals, the earth. The more
I like to get to know the minerals.
complete we are, the more we communicate with other beings. The more aware we are, the more expanded, the more we extend to all of life. And I think your joy of living goes up in accordance with how much you are in touch with everything around you, how much you sing as the canary's singing with the rest of life. So I find the more I communicate with animals and trees and rocks, believe it or
Hold
not.
on a second. Actually, doesn't this literally tie into the content we watch? We know people who, Aphrodite, for example, communes directly with nature. Savvy Guy, how many times has he stopped a video? Remember, he'd be like, look at the majestic eagles in the sky. We want to be like the eagles. They're chosen. Jimmy, bonds with animals when he sees them. Maybe this is helping us better understand the Savvy Guys and Jimmys of the world who have this innate ability.
And the planet Earth and everything around me, the more life seems full, rich,
Lloyd Christmas hair, too. Dude, dead on, man.
deep, loving, kind, wise. And the animals share that with you. They share it on a very intuitive basis. You don't have to talk about it. You don't have to intellectualize about it. You just feel it. You feel the vibration.
You used to be able to make a living just by hanging out with a rake, talking to monkeys.
Of it. You feel the energy. You feel the connection. You know it. Find if you can express it verbally or intellectually or analyze it, but that isn't the experience. That's an expression of the experience. And the more you experience,
Do you think they sense Savvy Guy is prey, so they're like, that's why they always circle him?
other beings, I feel the more wise and loving being you become.
Has a great video about trouble. Well, anyway, after this ends, it's kind of like the official end of the VHS segment. I wasn't sure how much time we'd have, but I did want to put a farewell song on it that felt similar, so it'll transition into that, but then I have one more bonus clip to show you after that. This is fucking great, man. I wonder why Ronald Jacopetti got the rat for his image. I heard a lot of meowing coming from the other room and scratching on what I sounded like a door, and lo and behold, my cat was trapped in the bathroom. I would have never known that if I couldn't communicate telepathically. Thank you, whatever her name was. I've already forgotten her name. Penelope. Thank you, Penelope. Dude, this hits. Misty Reddington, hell yeah. $19.90. Great video. Great video. The algorithm provided.
And now the end is near, and saw a face, the final curtain. My friends, I say clear, state my case, of which I'm certain. I've lived a life that's full. I've traveled each and every highway and more much more than this. I did it my way.
Fuck yeah.
Regrets, I've had a few, but then again, too few to mention. I did what I had to do and saw it through without exemption. I planned each charted course, each careful step along the byway, and more, much more than this. I did it my way. Yes, there was time, I'm sure you knew.
There we go.
When I bit off more than I could chew. But through it all, when there was doubt, I ate it up and spit it out. I faced it all, and I stood tall and did it my way. I've loved,
Oh my
I
god.
laughed and cried. I had my full, my share of losing.
I'm tearing up a little bit.
And now
What a
tears subside. I find it all so amusing to think I did all that, and may I say, not in a shy way. Oh no, oh no, not me. I did it my way. For what is a man?
God damn.
What has he got? If not himself, then he has not to say the things he truly feels. And not a word, a word who kneels. The record shows I took the blows and did it
Oh my
my
God.
way. The record shows I took the blows and did it my way.
Oh yeah. Woo! Holy shit, man. What a performance. You know what? We got time. Let's watch one more. This guy's name, by the way, is Payaman in Vegas. Payamminveg, like Vegas. But I think the last uploads were 16 years ago. But there's a really good version of That's Amore that I think everybody would like. Oh, there it is. Payam in Vegas. There's a lot of, they're all good, but I think these are the two best ones. That was a crazy, what a great performance.
When the moon hit your eye like a big pizza pie, that's amore. When the walls seem to shine like you had too much wine, that's amore. Bells will ring, ting-a-ling-a-ling, ting-a-ling-a-ling, and you'll sing Vita Bella. Hearts will play tippy-tippy-tay, tippy-tippy-tay, like a gay tarantella. When the stars make you drool, just like a pasta fuss.
I've been sitting on this guy for a while. I was like, I don't know how many like singing people I can introduce at a time, but I listen to this all the time, and I was like, you know what? I gotta get this guy in here.
That's amore. When you danced on a street with a cloud at your feet, you're in love. When you walk in a dream, but you know you're not dreaming, signore. Excuse me, but you see back in old Napoli, that's amore.
Nice laughing scene.
That's amore. When the world seems to shine like it had too much mind, that's amore. That's amore. And you sing Vita Bella. Like a gay tarantella. Lucky fella. When the stars make you drool just like a pasta fazzle, that's amore. That's amore. When you danced on a street with a cloud at your feet, you're in love. When you walk
Yes.
in a dream, but you know you're not dreaming, signore. Excuse me, but you see back in old Napoli, that's amore. Amore, that's amore.
Oh, look at that. Wow, what an exit. Again, that's Piam in Vegas, but he hasn't posted in a long time. 1.8K views. He's got 13 subscribers. Okay, I've got one more video I want to show you. It's in a much different genre. Well, hold on a second. Let me just, hold on. Give me a second. Persian Cowboy. What a performer. He should have 13 million. Oh, whoops. Okay, hang on. Sorry. Well, shoot. Okay, hang on. I'm going to have to look for it. It's worth it if I can find it. When was this? Oh, it was a month ago. Okay, is this it, maybe? Yeah, here we go. Okay. Now this is a your Viking Raider type. shit. Okay, hang on. I gotta show you one more. I gotta show you real quick a Jimmy episode. Let's see. James Edward Holden. Okay. Is it a short? It might be a short. Hang on. Let me check the date on it. This was 2 days ago. Seven views 2 days ago. Hang on, I gotta get back in chat. Okay. 2 days ago. Here it is. Hey, Avery.
If you say you care about women and you want to censor me, you're a liar. If you say you care about black people and you want to censor me, you're a liar. If you say you care about women and you want to censor me,
Oh, I
you're
guess
a
that's
liar.
it. That's the whole video.
If you say you care
I just thought it was a really great title. If you say you care about women or black people.
about black people and you want to censor me, you're a liar. They keep pushing me down. My dark comedy routine keeps getting more and more refined. Before you know it, not a single one of these freaks are going to be able to handle it. And they're just going to have to quit their jobs at YouTube. And YouTube's not even going to have anybody working at it anymore.
What?
You guys like my dark comedy routine? You know, law enforcement.
I do.
Out of everybody, law enforcement probably like looks forward to my dark comedy videos. They're like probably developing their own routines where they're like just dealing with it, and like talking. Like, I really hate this shit for you, man. Not talking about me, but these other people. They're probably starting to talk like me. Before you know it, everybody's going to be calling everybody sick freaks.
What? Amazing. Dark comedy.
They keep pushing me down. My dark comedy routine. If you say you care about women and you want to censor me, right now I'm at this gas station on Bennett and 76, and the gang stalker freaks are sending me so much bad energy that my videos won't upload. Videos that should take like 2 minutes to upload are taking like an hour to upload. This is what they do, these gang stalker reptilian scum and these other beings. They mess with people around me to get them to hate me for no good reason by doing witchcraft against them to make them want to do witchcraft against me. Isn't that right, you nasty, evil, reptilian, fallen angel scum? Stop messing with my phone, you evil freak. I want God to kill you unless you leave me alone. Maybe you should check out my videos on YouTube, you weird gang stalker parasite. Right now.
Oh boy, but the next two look great.
I hate the Antichrist. I hate the Antichrist.
True.
I hate the Antichrist. I hate the Antichrist. I hate the
Guys, what do you think? I hate the Antichrist. 12 hours of Jimmy saying, I hate the Antichrist. ASMR.
Antichrist. I hate the Antichrist. It's March 16th,
Hey, this is a rare no hat, Jimmy.
2025. I'm getting ready to charge my devices so I can have everything ready to go later.
I think that's a full-length one. I don't have time for that, unfortunately, not this time. Oh, here we go.
Burn in hell, you evil freak. Burn in hell, you sick evil freak. Burn in hell.
Hell yeah.
You evil.
And Jimmy is always saying that YouTube censors his music more than anything else, so we really have to amplify Jimmy's music.
Freak.
We're not going to give in to the sick, evil freaks at all.
Burn in hell, you sick, evil freak.
Hell yeah, Jimmy.
That song is like many other of my songs that are dedicated to the sick, evil freaks that are terrorizing me and censoring me, gang stalking me and abusing me. Well, nobody really does anything, so I just have to come up with these cool songs to be able to cope.
Amazing.
Yeah, they're like slave. Burn in hell.
All right, great time. Love the Jimmy update. I wasn't expecting it, but I'm glad. That was a good time. Well, thanks for hanging out. I'll be back tomorrow for George Dorunda prime time and its normal Thursday time slot, and then we'll do Memphis Wrestling on Friday, and then I think I'm gonna do a Boyd show on Saturday just because I have so much stuff that I need to get get all these different characters to get out into the world. But thanks for hanging out. I do